Kizaki, Hippo, like those are all the players on 437 EU. And then of course on the flip side of that, we have the Innovators, Silhouettes, Class, Key 1 DR Plays, and the God VPB.
Yeah, and man, it's good news that you talked about it, because guess what, guys? Match number 1 that we're going to be tuning into today is going to be 437 EU against the Innovators, and this is going to be a very, very good game, and honestly, I could see this going either way. The 437 squad, they were looking so solid in the third qualifier. They were able to knock out 2 squads that, honestly, they had no reason to be beating them, and they were able to take them out and make it all the way to the final. Sadly, like I said, we weren't able to see them go up against Right Turtle, and the squad and the Innovators, we've seen them month after month. They have come back. It's been pretty much the exact same roster, VPB, Key, Class, Silhouette, and they have been making a lot of waves. They have said in previous 10Ks, pay attention to us. We're the underdogs. We're coming for the top spot, and they haven't really made that much noise in a main event yet. So I'm really looking forward to see if this is going to be their weekend where they're going to be able to crack the top 6. So let's go ahead and talk about this series layout for these 2 squads that we're going to be looking at now. Now, it is going to be Demolition, King of the Hill, Demolition, King of the Hill, Demolition. Strikeout is removed now. Just a small update from last month in case you guys didn't know or weren't aware. What are your thoughts about this map set that we got coming up for this series right here?
We have Favelas, Palace, Canals, Windward, and Palace is potentially the Game 5 map that we will be looking at. And I think that Favelas is a great place to start out on. This is one of those maps where it really tests the knowledge of the players because of how you have to be aware of not only the different angles it is that you can be approached from, but there's a lot of places that really show a testament to the skill of the attackers on this map, right? Because we're talking about a situation where a lot of the places, a lot of the bomb sites they have to push through, a lot of those angles are longer angles. It really does well with DMRs or people that really are great at utilizing some of those semi-automatic rifles. And it really tests the tide and the mental capacity of the attackers because of how many choke points are actually on this map that lead you into a bomb site. For me personally, I definitely would say that this map is defender sided because there's a lot of places it is that you really don't have to be too concerned about. A lot of it can really be solved. Like, let's say we're playing garage bomb site. You have that long spawn that you have to be worried about. You can get flanked around from all the way in long. That can be solved by just setting somebody on the other side, right? And that means that you could look and take care of a lot of different angles that people might be coming from. That's typically why you see people only put one site on the opposing side away from garage, because it allows them to look and take care of anyone that might be flanking any cover. And if they end up pushing on the site, then you could just back off, right? Play retake with your team, and it's way easier to do that. I definitely think that the attackers have their work cut out for them here.
Oh, yeah, big time. Favela is known for that defense, and, the bans are a reason for that. So let's go ahead and check out what rogues they are going to be getting out of here with these bans. And, it's looking like Glitch and Scorch. Now, I will say that Glitch is probably the most banned rogue when it comes to Demolition right now. He's just overall a problem to deal with. If you're not extremely good at using Glitch, it's just best to just take him off the board. Don't let anybody play it. He has been an absolute nuisance, terrorizing people, honestly, in this meta, this current meta, this runway meta. People want that briefcase to be left up. They don't want it to be glitch hacked, things like that. They don't want the glitch to have free reign. But that means that Ronin Dahlia is going to be left up. And that is interesting because usually when you see glitch banned, you see Ronin banned. So now it's going to be very hard to get intel if you're the offensive team. Scorch is banned out from the defensive side. So I'm honestly loving the defensive bans right now, banning out that Scorch, not letting them get that aggression. Right now, Scorch has been very popular on Favela's offense, pushing into that bomb site up at B and being able to molly off the back door or stand in the molly herself and, use a shotgun, even an SMG, whatever she's able to do, and just keep people out of that bomb site and take it over. So I like the Scorch ban coming out. I like the glitch ban, but I'm not a fan of the offense leaving up the Ronin Dahlia combination on defense. I feel like it's just going to be way too hard. You're not going to be able to rely on your Dallas snap. You're not going to be able to rely on your Talon darts. You're not going to be able to rely on really anything at this point. Even Lancer, she can get revealed in her ult now, so that's not going to come out. So that's the reason that this meta is the way that it is, and it's going to be surprising if I don't see a Ronin Dahlia coming out on the defensive side.
One of the biggest things that I was thinking of just now was, once again, like you had mentioned it before, it was the Ronin not being banned here. Instead, it's the Scorch. Once again, they don't want to deal with that aggression. She's a great duelist and is great at clearing out sights. A lot of those angles can really be challenged by her, and it makes people trying to hold those angles really terrified of what might end up happening, right? Especially since we're playing a demo. You only get one life per round. So that's definitely something I would be more concerned about. The Scorch makes sense. However, I'm trying to think about the potential of the Ronin. You are right. While they may not have that intel available to them, I mean, this once again leaves Ronin open for both teams, for both sides, right? So they may have to try and counter that fight a fire with fire situation. There's been multiple times throughout this tournament, not even at main event, but before that as well, where we've seen the exact same drafts copied and repeated, right? So maybe that's what the mindset is here. Like once again, we leave runway open, we leave runway open, we leave Ronin open, and we have more of a possibility to sort of draft teams that potentially might be around both of those characters. And I completely understand that mindset. It's just I am still a little bit concerned, just like you were just pointing out, about the fact that they won't really be able to try and find out that Ronin anywhere. Like she's going to be roaming, and it's going to be a lot harder to try and keep an eye on her.
Oh yeah, big time. Well, let's go ahead and keep an eye on the competition because we're going to be going into the match right now, not wasting any more time. And this is going to be an incredible weekend, starting off on a map that's been here for over a year in competitive Rogue Company. It is a staple. It is amazing overall. That's the reason that it's been here for so long. Favelas, Demolition. Man, we've been playing this bad boy since I believe June of last year, man. It's been just an absolute pleasure playing this map. So many amazing sightlines. The teamwork, like you said, the coordination on the offensive pushes, they have to be perfect. They have to be amazing. We can see a Kestrel locked in on both sides already. It's looking like it is going to be a little bit of a chalk aggression with the Dallas snap coming out on the offensive end. Now that is very, very interesting. They're of course going to have the Dahlia with it as well. Dahlia right now is the revive character of choice, definitely over Saint. Saint will be getting that lifeline buff to him instead of helping hand, so we might be seeing Saint in the next meta. But for now, going to be a Dahlia and a Trench coming out, and this has me questioning a lot of stuff because there is no Ronin on either side. That is very interesting, and man, that might come back to bite them if they're the defense. I definitely would have picked the Ronin over the Dallas in this situation, but hey, we just got to see how these players are going to play this bad boy.
I'm also interested in seeing there's no runway either, right? There's a lot of talk and discussion about how strong she is, and here we are not seeing her. I'm interested to see how both of these teams are going to play this because, like you mentioned, the road is not picked, but I'm more surprised about the runway, honestly. I think Demolition is a great mode for runway to be utilized on. Her mollies really bring a lot, as well as the briefcase, right? Like, it really does clear out sight. It forces you to have to play retake 90% of the time because you don't want to die to grenades, like 8 million grenades that are tossing in through windows and different angles that you have to be concerned about. So I'm not sure. I mean, the chalk is here. Obviously, we're going to see like Dahlia is probably going to end up linking to that chalk and just try and keep him up and alive. We've seen this happen before, a combo that we've seen before, where Dahlia links to Chalk so Chalk doesn't have to use his active ability to pick himself up. He wants Dahlia to be able to do that, and then Chalk can worry about using his ability to clear sight, to clear angles, to push, and the rest of his team follows up. So I do like this combo. We've actually seen it put in a lot of work before in the previous weeks. And they're actually, I think they're just giving them sight for the most part. They aren't really defending like that.
Yeah, right now they were trying to zone off Small Garage, trying to make sure that this player Key can just help his team, but you know, it's not going to be to any man, nothing good is going to be happening right now as he's able to get one down, and that's going to be it because the rest of his team got taken out as they were trying to push in. The Kestrel ult came in, and you can see the Dahlia sitting there on the ground. The Kestrel ult came in from Small Garage and was able to take out two of the players, and anytime you're trying to push into that site and the Dahlia goes down, that's just going to be an all-go for the defensive team, and that's exactly what they were able to do right there. Just wide swing Small Garage, take out everyone, keep that pressure on, and Dallas was stuck really in a very, very tough situation. You see the Kestrel coming out, able to down two players just like that, and you know, leaving the Dahlia all by herself in the front, and just beautiful plays all around by the squad.
And I actually like how they double stacked on the left-hand side from defender spawn into that smaller garage area across from, like, obviously the bigger garage, or the place where most of the main fights happen, right? You have a situation where both of them are stacked up, so if anybody tries to push through, they have to deal with two instead of one. Most people are going to expect one person, but not a lot of people are going to expect two, right? To be waiting right around that corner. You try and swing and push that corner, you're getting double peaked. Even if you do down one, you're probably going to get traded out, right? So I actually liked how they played that. At first I thought they were like giving a sight for a little bit, but they actually were just playing off, like out of sight, and just make like off of sight, excuse me, and making sure they actually just use their nades to try and take over things for them.
Yeah, and right now the Chalk is going to be getting all up into their stuff. He's going to be able to take out the trench, but it looks like that is going to work out for them as they are able to get both of the full kills. Silhouette with a big 1v1, going to be losing that one to Hippo, and now we got ourselves a 3v2 situation. Tykins got to go big, able to down one. He gets traded out. The Dallas is weak, and he's going to get taken out as well, and that's going to be tying everything up 1-1. A nice push coming out of the Innovators right there.
Yeah, that is absolutely insane. Like I am shocked, surprised, really, that it ended up working out that way, right? I mean, like you have one person that's watching by that garage. I mean, Chalk swings around, gets a big opening play for the rest of his team to push in. Obviously, Chalk's pushing in. And he has a Dahlia res to sort of play off of his back because you're going to have somebody else that's going to peek around the corner and trade you, right? Like he has all that knowledge intact. Obviously, the team knows that's what they wanted to do. But I was surprised about the lack of help from anyone else or sitting directly on the site. And I guess that's just the pressure it was the Innovators was putting on, because while you had to worry about what was happening on the left-hand side, you also had to be concerned about who was pushing site, right? Who was pushing bomb site. We all push around together to see if we can try and get a trade off, to see if we can help our teammates that are already down. And we're going to end up putting ourselves in a worse spot because now bomb site's open. Now we have to be worried about different angles it could be coming from as well, because if they push on the side and they overtake from behind, then that's going to be a problem. And it's just too much. So I actually like how Innovators played that match and really utilized their numbers to their advantage.
Yeah, definitely did a good job. But just like that, another double Kestrel going to be taking out VPB and Sill. And just like that, Key is going to be left all by his lonesome yet again in Big Garage. And this funnel plan is just not working out with the timing, man. That Kestrel ult is just too potent in this tight space that is the B bomb site. And man, that was a very, very rough push right there for this Innovator squad. And I'm honestly not a fan of sending your Dallas into the Big Garage. Only reason is because you know that a player is going to be in small. You don't need to snap to reveal that guy. You already know that he's there. There's literally no point in revealing that. But keeping that Dallas down at A, keeping that flank pressure, splitting them up, that might be able to help you, because right now this 4-on-4 push is just not working out for the Innovators, and they need to get at least try to get 3 rounds on offense here. And right now they're going to be meeting into Dallas. Yeah, they're going straight into Dallas.
Yeah, I'm really, but at the same time though, they do have to sort of concede a lot of that, because of the fact that there's only one of them on site. Dallas has the intel, and obviously he's calling it out now because the rest of his team is obviously going to rotate to that. But I like this a lot better because it enables the team to sort of play to their style. You're pushing choke points, and this is exactly what I'm talking about when I was mentioning that it was defender-sided. They use the Kestrel. Oh, great coordination there. You have the Kestrel drones. You have the Ensign to force it out. You already know that he's over there and where he's waiting in the corner. You didn't see him cross over. You use contextual clues and find out where he's going to be exactly, and that's why they were able to get that kill and that down so early, is because of the teamwork that they had on the side of the Innovators. This is what I'm talking about when I was saying that it's really difficult to try and push in onto site, because if you don't have that coordination, then you're not really going to make it on the site. It is a lot of these areas of choke points and longer angles that you have to peek and swing through that are going to end up being detrimental to you as a player if you try and push, if you try and force anything.
Yeah, the Dahlia did get taken out, though. I'm not exactly sure what VPB was doing, why he was playing that angle right there, but this is going to be a very hard retake regardless. No Anvil shield, of course, as he was not picked. You got to win your gunnies, and Incredible Gil going to need to take out the Chalk, and he's able to do that. A big 1v right there. 2v2 situation now, all left into 1v2 for the Kestrel. She's got to overcome a Trench and a Dahlia combination. Will Class be able to do it? No, as Gil takes out Class, looking for Silhouette now. And Silhouette's able to take out one, but no, Gil is going to be shutting that down, but he's not able to make it back to the bomb. And just like that, my goodness, the Dahlia res comes through, and that was major right there.
Yeah, not going to really be able to do much after that, honestly. I mean, like, this is how you're supposed to play the game, right? Like, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how many kills you get on the bombs planet, right? Like, that is the ultimate and penultimate goal of any attacker. So the team get the bomb down, right? It's great if you win the round by getting kills before you even plant. But when that bomb is a factor, you are playing around the bomb the entire time without question, without prejudice. You have to defuse that bomb. If you don't, then obviously you're going to end up in situations like that where you win and clear out the team, but you're not able to defuse it, and that's what allows you to end up catching that loss, okay, like holding the L, because then you have to be concerned about how everyone else is, how you could have played that a little bit better because the bomb's already planted. You had to retake site faster. It's a race against the clock whenever that bomb is planted.
Oh yeah, big time. Definitely going to be a race against the clock, because right now, a minute 20 left. They've got to make this plan work fast. They're going to be doing the basic roll down to A, try to get this bad boy planted. They should be running into some claymores down here, as they are going to be going up against a trench. They're just going to be clearing out long, making sure that absolutely nobody came over here to just play any rat position, just trying to sniff them out right now. But you see the rotation is going to be coming out from this 4-3-7 squad, as they're going to need to shut down this A bomb site. You see Tickens, he is ready and waiting. Man, he is just waiting to Kestrel somebody behind that rainbow barrier. And no, that's not going to be working out. That's not the play. Just going up to plant it. Should have seen the guy on the other side of Rainbow, and Silhouette gets taken down. He's going to need to get up. That's a beautiful Kestrel. And is he going to be able to live? Yes. Great play by Tickens all around. My goodness, to be able to survive in the tight corner. And now they're just going to be on a manhunt looking for the final player, and they're going to be able to take him out and go up 3-2 on defense. Great play by Tickens.
Yeah, that was just great positioning and great awareness as well. I think it was really wearing on the players personally, because of how much he tried to push in and how consistently they tried to like take a stand there, but none of the team, like Silhouette's team, wasn't in position to be able to trade or take anybody off or out of the fight. Because if you saw, somebody else on the left side was retreating, they were already brought super low, less than half HP, so he can't push up to gain any more ground, any more opportunity. It just seems like they're trying to stick and stay on this bomb site. And I guess that's just a matter of impatience. At least that's what it looked like to me. Not being able to wait a little bit longer, because I mean, at the end of the day, like, sure, you do have to be worried about the clock, and you have to play a little bit. You have to play smart, right? But at the end of the day, like, it's all about manipulating that timer. You manipulate the timer. It's easier for you to be able to plant the bomb, and you'll always feel like you have time if you're understanding how you need to approach and attack these sites. And I think that was just a matter of, in my personal opinion, once again, impatience.
Yeah, 100%. And right now they find themselves in the same situation. They rotated down. The Kestrel is in prime position to have another amazing. Oh, that was a great nade by VVP. He was able to see him crawl to the left side of Rainbow, able to get that nade, because guess what? Kestrel, she's amazing, but no tenacity either way. So she's going to be going down to that grenade. Are they going to be able to get this player up? That's the big question. VPB is going to be dropping, and that's major, because that is the Dahlia. The Kestrel did get full killed. That is going to get eaten. That would have been another down for class. Man, it's going to come down to what's going to be going on up top at B right now. Is right now the player trying to get small garage control. That's going to be Silhouette, the offensive Kestrel, and she's in a 1v2 right now, but she gets taken out as well. So now Class, he might be able to make something happen now. 2v2 is Kazaki's able to take another one out from long, and he's going to have to watch over him. He's able to plant barely next to this barbed wire and not take damage, and now it's going to be all about playing these angles. He's going to need to get rid of that. Yeah, get out of there safely and soundly, but it looks like they're just going to be playing on site. No chocolate. They don't know if somebody's going to be coming behind them. They are able to get eyes on one player in the back, but still not having eyes on that second player is going to make them very, very nervous. And it's not going to matter, because nervousness aside for Class today, he's ready for this 10K as he's able to absolutely gun that player down from River. And man, tie this bad boy up 3-3. Great stuff coming out of Class right there.
And good awareness from Key as well, to be able to move in and obviously take out whoever's trying to push Class, because obviously in a situation like that, it's going to be a 1v2, right? Like, if Class doesn't get helped out there, then he goes down, and now you're talking about a potential situation where one of them's down, they have to pick up the other one. Like you see right here, he pushes, drops down, obviously listens and hears the sound, because he aimed a little bit before he came around that corner. Obviously having the 3-peek as well means that you're able to have a little bit of an advantage, because you can see them down there. Reacts in time, gets the kill, and Key rotates around to help out Class, and they end up winning that round. So great teamwork once again from the Innovators. We saw great teamwork round one, and that's what also nets them the just current round win.
Yeah, and right now it's going to be a fast A push. All four players are long, and this is going to be a play that we used to see a long time ago, was pushing out this long area with smokes, and they're going to be met by a bunch of util and even more weaponry, as my goodness, Hippo is putting them through the meat grinders. That's going to be 3 players going down, and that offensive push was not what they wanted, but hey, at least they were able to get 3 rounds on offense heading into a defensive-sided map. I'm liking Innovators right now in their position, but we got ourselves pretty much a tie game.
I'm I'm not sure why they went through long that way. I mean, it's a longer angle, obviously, but it poses a situation like that. If anybody's watching back by their spawn, it's obviously going to mean that if you're pushing up, somebody's on site, somebody's in their spawn, you're going to get torn apart. And they sort of just all W keyed through that long angle. I'm not sure why, because how they were playing beforehand definitely had netted them a good couple rounds, a good few rounds. I believe they were trying to take their opponents off guard with that play, but it just seemed like they were already ready for it, right? So in the long run, I'm not too sure how I feel about that. But here's the Ronin though. We see the Ronin, and instead of Dahlia, it's Saint. I'm not too sure how I feel about this. I personally feel like Dahlia is the better Saint, and I don't think a lot of people will argue that. Being able to stop Saint drone from rezzing is like a big deal.
Yeah, I think this comes down to just the basic, if there isn't a good link, I'm not going to link to you. And you can see Hippo right now, man, in that replay, just an amazing accuracy. He was able to hit like 3 different players with that one clip and able to help out, taking out the final one, able to get 4 elims to his name in that round alone. But yeah, I think overall it's just the Dahlia being able to link with all 3 of these rogues, just not going to be really able to get that good of a passive. You know, you link with Dima, if you get a grenade damage, you know, they'll be revealed, you know, cool. Like that doesn't help too much. You know, Dallas, it's demolition, so you're really not going to be getting kills to revive a Dallas twice in one round, so that link isn't going to be all that great. And then there also is the Kestrel link, you know, if your Kestrel is going to be playing aggressive, but I don't think that that's the play style that these guys are going to be having. And you know, right now they are just going to be trying to hold this thing up because guess what? They don't know where the Ronin is. That's the thing about having an offensive Ronin or a defensive Ronin, excuse me, is that you have to be wary of where she's at all times. She can never get revealed. You have no idea where she's at. And right now they have a player playing for that Ronin. Kazaki not going to be able to go down from that nade. Not exactly sure how he lived. He's going to be throwing that bad boy. Not going to be able to do any damage on Sildo. They're going to be able to get this bomb down. The Ronin already got taken out. One player is coming up. VPB from River. He's 1 HP. And it looks like VPB is going to get taken out by Hippo. Great stuff. Key goes down from Incredible G, and that's going to be 3 dropping now. A 1v4 for the Kestrel, and just like that, this offensive squad's able to cleanly wipe them without dropping a player. 5-3 advantage for them now.
Yeah, that was a very, very quick and concise round from 437 EU. I think that they played that extremely well. They were able to get the bomb down. I was a little bit concerned when we saw VPB drop down from mid to try and see if he can take care of the Dima. Dima obviously had to back up, and it means that he wasn't as safe in the area that he was in. But of course, as soon as the bomb gets planted down, we see Incredible move around and obviously take out VPB. And his teammate also comes around, Dallas comes around and makes sure that they both pincer that one person. VPB goes down, gets taken out, and then the rest of the round from there is history. Great overtake of site. And I think the Innovators are struggling a little bit to try and keep them away from the objective. I think that they are struggling, and I think that is a testament to both Dima and Kestrel as characters. You have to be worried about both of them.
Yeah, and right now the biggest thing that I'm noticing is that even though the offense did win that first pistol round, the offense has no tenacity on their team. Saint, no tenacity. Kestrel, none. Dima, none. Dallas, none. And there is 4 grenades every round for this defensive squad. So they honestly should be able to get so many downs just off grenades alone. There's 1 out of 4 going to be coming out. You know, obviously Kestrel, she's got the bounce grenades, and then Dahlia, she's got the 2 grenades linking with the Saint. So, you know, not sure if she bought smokes round 1, but, you know, I'm assuming that she's going to have grenades for this second round. So we'll see how this 8B push is going to be working out for this squad now.
Yeah, it seems like right now they're already trying to reach in and overtake site. Saint waiting right there, but the Ronin knife takes out one. Tykins gets finished off, and now we have to worry about the bomb being planted. Nate gets cooked for a little bit, but decides against it. Instead, they are trying to plant the bomb still, I believe. They are on site, but he's not committing. I wonder what he's worried about. He might be worried about the nades or anything that they might have available to them. He hasn't planned it yet, but he is waiting on site right now. I think he really is worried about them hearing that bomb plant. Ronin gets forced out. Same thing for Silhouette. They're both extremely low, and with that confirmation now, they will plant the bomb and back off of site.
Yeah, and mollying off that backside to get that bomb down right now is just so popular. Players like using that molly early. They don't like saving it for post-plant. They like making sure they can get the plant down in the first place. And, you know, Crossing going to get taken out. His class, VPB, gets wide swung from sight. And just like that, all 4 players going to be dropping in a 3v4 situation. What? Innovators going to need to do better than that. Oh my goodness, that right there that was so impressive. That was 3v4, and they were just able to coordinate with their use with the when that player crossed over, that just opened the floodgates for them to push that backside of sight, and that was incredible out of this 4-3-7 squad.
Yeah, that is definitely the way how you should play that. I definitely think that them sort of biding and waiting their time. Obviously, the communication is happening between 4-3-7. You have a situation where, like, okay, well, we probably assume that somebody's around that corner. We're going to wait. When they forced them out, when they got the hit, when they saw those damage numbers start to ramp up, then they became interested in planting the bomb. That makes good sense, and I love the patience and time that 4-3-7 EU knew they had to be able to pull that off, and that's what I'm talking about. It's less. It's not always about taking the proper gunfights. It's more about the manipulation of the timer, knowing how much time you have, knowing what you can do, and playing patiently. They didn't plant that bomb because they were on site. They planted the bomb because they knew they had the opportunity to. They didn't try and rush or force anything, and that's great awareness. Two of them pushing around on the side, though. I would be a little bit concerned. This is a great flank from them.
Yeah, wouldn't be mad if he tried to molly that to get that finish. You saw him thinking about it. He started to cook that bad boy, but just like that, they're able to down the Kestrel. Again, is that going to be a nice nade? No, it's not. Not going to be able to connect, but just like that, they're able to take out Hippo. So some nice plays coming out of the Innovators on defense. Finally, the Dahlia, is going to be very, very low in a 1v1. She's going to be able to take out the Dima, and all that is left is the Saint. You heard him try to pop the Saint drone 3-4 times that round. Didn't work out for him, but my goodness, he was able to take out Class right there. Get a little bit more cash in his pocket, but it's not going to matter. They're going to be getting one round closer, are the Innovators, to tying this bad boy up. 6-4 now. It's not over.
Great manipulation of the site right there, knowing that VPB was in that corner. They sort of swung around. They took turns fighting the people that were in the smaller garage. VPB pushes around the corner, doesn't take that fight immediately, as you saw. He gets tagged really badly, gets brought low. But now that's intel they have, right? They can use contextual clues once again to find out where everybody else is, and also use sound or prior knowledge to that fight to understand where they're going to be trying to attack from. And I think that was a great opportunity for them to not only recognize that, but once again, play their game. Innovators not being forced to play the game into the pace of 4-3-7 EU, and I think that's great. That's what netted them that round.
Oh, yeah, big time. You see Class already able to get a down onto the Saint, and that was all the way from down low. So, and just like that, another grenade going to be coming out from VPV. My goodness, 2 grenade downs already. Silhouette is going to be coming in on the flank. He is going to be terrorizing, taking out all these players just like that. 1-2, buckle my shoe. They're back to the lobby, and now it's a 1v4 for this Dima who's in this big garage, and it is just going to be a race to see who's going to be able to get the kill, as they're going to be opening all these doors, and he is not going to be long for this world.
Yeah, that's all she wrote for that round. The Innovators taking advantage of that. Class obviously getting a greatly cooked frag grenade. Toss it out, gets 1 down. And then once again, this is one of those games where we're talking about teams that are 4v4, not the traditional 5v5 that we see in these tactical shooters, right? We're talking about a situation where having 1 down, having 1 death in any tactical FPS, especially when it's either a 5-person team or in this case a 4-person team, is huge. And we see that playing a factor there, right? Once the numbers advantage is not on the side of whoever got down first and taken out, you see the rest of the team try and push forward and use that advantage. Because if we trade everyone out, theoretically, if we trade each person out, if everyone on either team goes down with a number advantage, there should at least be 1 person left on the winning team, right? So they're going to take those advantages and push those fights. It's really up to the players to play as patiently as they can, to try and take situations where they can, and overall just not get brought down too early. They're being forced out here from the site, but he rolled in. I think, oh my goodness, that was bad timing. That was bad timing.
Not that great timing, but Kazaki able to get the down with the Dima ult. You love to see it. All that's left is going to be Ronan in a 1v4. She's rotating all the way up from A. So this is going to be a 7-5 advantage now. So it's going to be 3 rounds in a row that the Innovators are going to have to pull off on this defensive side. It's definitely doable. But, ooh, man, just like that, able to get 1 down, and there is no tenacity, not able to peek and flick that one to him. Yeah, could have been able to make the impossible happen, but wasn't able to let that one connect. But, man, just an all-around solid push coming out of this squad of 4-3-7. I can tell that their communication is definitely on par today.
Yeah, Silhouette rolled in when they – you see that nade right there, that ensign? It got tossed out. Silhouette tried to roll in to see if he could stay on site, see if he could play a better retake. The rest of his team was backing out. He wanted to roll in to see if he could avoid it, because he thought the ensign was going to be on that corner. He thought he could roll past it, avoid the damage, and stay on site, try and see if he can catch people off guard in that very split-second decision in that quick moment. But the nade landed in the doorway. So that made it way, way worse for anyone to try and push through. So instead of rolling past it, he rolled into it, and he got killed because of that. He tried to roll out towards the end, but it didn't even matter.
Yeah, and Tykins, he was able to down one player trying to play up on long, and this is the bad thing that can happen if you play aggressive, is if the whole team comes, you can just get taken out, but it looks like they're going to be able to trade it out cleanly. 3v3 situation now. Class right now in a world of hurt because he is in the middle of it all right now. He's in the middle of the map right now, in between all these players. This whole round is going to depend on Class and how he reacts to this I don't even know if it's an A push. They might honestly be looping around and end up going back up to B, simply because in these 3v3 situations, you don't ever really feel comfortable just straight up planting it, especially if you don't have top tree control. So, we'll see what exactly is going to happen. The smoke's going to be coming out, and yeah, looks like they're playing for their side, like I said, so they're most likely going to be pushing out this back way, and it's going to be all theirs. So, man, just like that, incredible. He's going to be backing all the way up, feeling very, very good, as this whole squad is going to be able to be feeling extremely comfortable now, set up completely on the opposite team spawn.
Yeah, right now the smokes are down. Obviously, you can't push through that or try and see if you can make a play. They have to play the timer here. And they throw out the nades. Saint obviously throwing out that smoke, but they aren't pushing through with it. Yeah, you're correct. They are all long, but they still have a good angle, I believe, on the bomb. They all backed out, and I think that was because they were afraid of the. Oh my goodness, they were afraid of. Okay, all right, that's so unfortunate. No way do they actually. Yeah, they actually. Oh, that's so sad. That's so sad. They all played long in that situation. Okay, so they all played long in that situation because they were trying to back up. Literally, that's like the biggest mind game that there is, right? The reason why they backed up was because they threw the smokes out. They assumed that people were going to push through that, so they were backing up to see who was trying to push through that smoke, who would be on the bomb. And then they realized, wait, oh shoot, there's no one on the bomb. All of us are back here in long. We have to push in. The C4 gets tossed out because now everyone on the opposite side, everyone on 437 EU is in position to hear, okay, they're coming back to site. They really were all out there. They throw out the C4, they get the downs, and they get the kills from that point on, and the rest is history. That's what netted them that win. I believe it was just a little bit of a miscommunication. Those smokes really spooked them, I would assume, because they thought a play was coming off of the backs of those smokes. They backed up towards long, and nobody had control over the site, especially as they realized the bomb was smoked. That's exactly where Saint ended up throwing his nades to make that be the case. And they throw out the smokes. They throw out to see if they can try and play retake here. And they don't even move. They're just trying to see how the team reacts to that. And that's staying one step ahead of your opponent. That's what 437 EU did. And that's why I think that was a wonderful play by them. They played that so well. They threw out the smoke, waited to see if anybody else was going to push up, stalled out just a little bit, and it ended up working out for them in their favor. That's the type of play that you have to make. You have to be that one step ahead. That's still the most unfortunate thing I've seen today. But, I mean, hey.
Yeah, definitely was not ideal. And, you see so many amazing plays, especially this one from Tykins, man. This one might be my favorite play. To know to just aim, throw your Kestrel ult, and immediately hug that close corner, man. That's the one where you strain your neck a little bit. You're like, oh, am I going to make it? And you're barely able to stay alive. And just all around some good team play from this 437 squad. And, they're showing why they did so well in that third qualifier. You see the grenade coming out from Class onto Tree, able to down that player, and just like that, mauling off the back door to get that bomb down. And man, that Demo ult ended up coming in very handy for this squad. I was kind of questioning it. None of these players had tenacity, but hey, proved me wrong yet again, because guess what? They were able to use that composition to their advantage and take that one 8-5 as they are up 1-0 in this best of 5. Let's not forget, this isn't a best of 3. This isn't quick. It's not going to be over fast, ladies and gentlemen. We got a whole series ahead of us, and now we're going to be heading to Palace, King of the Hill.
Yeah, Palace. Now, this is one of those maps where characters like Lancer do so well on, because this is a bigger map and you have to really be concerned about where anybody could be fighting from. We've seen some amazing King of the Hill matches on this map specifically. And I think that Palace does such a good job in making sure that you have plenty of places to play. Having the rooftops as accessible points to take fights is obviously great, because you're going to have different opportunities for you to be able to play retake and surprise people with different angles, because you have to be aware of where everyone's going to be at every single point in time. And that's why Lancer is so good at this map, is because she's able to take angles and take fights that most characters can't because of quick and quiet, because of her passive, because of her active ability. It's something you have to be concerned about. And it's even better for playing retake on this map because, once again, so many angles, so many places you have to be concerned about when you're playing on site for King of the Hill, that Lancer opens up a whole new slew of opportunities for your team. And I think that's a great character and a great opportunity to actually end up being utilized.
Oh yeah, big time. Well, let's see if she's going to make it through bans first. So let's go ahead and check it out, what it's going to be. It's going to be Scorch and Vi. So two stapled bans, at least for eights and things like that for King of the Hill players. They don't want to deal with a Scorch. They don't want to deal with a Vi simply because there's really not a lot of counters to them simply because of that reason alone. You know, they have the mollies as well as Scorch being able to stand in the molly, you know, so it's not exactly like you're able to do a lot with her. Even nades can't kill her because if she's able to get to she's going to be all right. So Scorch all around, just a very strong rogue for King of the Hill, and that's why we're not going to be seeing her probably in a lot of matches today. Probably more than 50% we're going to see Scorch banned. I'm not going to lie. Vi might be the one that makes it through just because some teams are comfortable with their player playing Vi. Some people are like, oh, I'm a really good Vi. So, okay, you'll let the Vi through. But Scorch right now, Scorch is one where even if you're really good at it, it's kind of annoying to play against as well, even if you are pretty good at it yourself. So not exactly surprised to see that here. But like you said, the Lancer is wide open. The Dallas is wide open. So many amazing rogues are on the table left up. So most likely we're going to be seeing a Lancer, a Dallas, a Kestrel, and who knows, either a Chalk or an Anvil for that last one. And who knows what it's going to be. It's going to be very interesting to see what rogues they pull out. Maybe even Runway. Like you said, players have been starting to like that one as well. Players have been running Mac by himself as well. They've liked the trophy on Mac now that trophies are able to get rid of another APS. It's just amazing all around. So many different rogues that could take that fourth spot in this King of the Hill.
Yeah, and I'm looking at the bans once again. Just Scorch, Vi. Once again, these are the two usual suspects that you would see in these respawn game modes. You would see the Scorch banned a lot. You would see the Vi banned a lot, mostly because they're great at retaking site, and they're great. They're both just good characters for respawn game modes, right? So I think that these bans make the most sense. I agree with you. I think that we're going to see Scorch banned pretty much for majority of today because of the fact of how much opportunity she brings to a team, just out of her being one of the best duelists in the entire game. She can trade and fight like no other, and there's very little room for any other character except for herself to be able to provide that same sort of pressure. So I'm excited to see who they're going to end up drafting here on this map.
Oh yeah, big time, because this is definitely one of the most exciting King of the Hill maps that we have right now. And you can see the Lancer, the Dallas, the Kestrel, and a Phantom for VPB going to be locked in. Now, I'm definitely a fan of this bad boy. Why? Because the Phantom, the passive is amazing. Players, they don't regen that health so quickly. You also get that grenade. You get the revealing smoke as well, which can come in super handy, especially if there isn't going to be a Ronin on the other squad. And most of the time, players typically don't play Ronin in King of the Hill. But sometimes here and there, you see players pull it out, but that won't be the case today. It looks like we're going to be having a mirror match.
Yeah, it's so there was a time where we were confused about the Phantom being picked so frequently, because there were definitely some games where I forgot what player it was, but they were insistent on picking Phantom every single time. The nurse outfit for Halloween, like, it was every single time. And I went back, did some research after that day, and I completely understand why people like to pick Phantom, especially on respawn game modes. It is the overall realization that having that reduced regen, her being able to take fights like that and making sure that people regen slower, big play right there. It's less about the active and more about the passive, I would say, and more about the potential opportunities you have of being able to stall out a team's potential to play retake on King of the Hill, especially a respawn game mode. It means that she's always going to be frequently keeping on the pressure, and I think that's a great opportunity.
Yeah, I think right now the biggest reason that players will pull out Phantom is typically they'll say, look, if I want to have a smoke for whatever we need to do, pushing, things like that, I want that smoke to be able to reveal somebody. And that's exactly what that Phantom smoke is able to do. So it's able to zone off players so easily. Class already going crazy with this D40, man. Great stuff coming out of him. I've been seeing players swap over to this other sub from the 24S recently. You know, players with this weapon mastery, they're starting to figure out exactly which weapon they like more, and you're seeing a lot of 24Ss in the feed, but also some D40s as well. Sniper shots coming out from VPB. He's trying to line them up, not able to make it happen. Shots a little bit off right now, and he's going to get taken out and pays for it.
Yeah, the first sight had gone towards the side of blue, but now obviously red have made their way onto the objective and are now holding on to what is remaining of the 15 seconds that are still on point. 437 EU have made their way to retake the objective. And now they have to worry about the next site. Now, here's the issue. Class picking up 2 different kills, 2 different downs. Somebody trades him out. Incredible. Does manage to get him down, but there's already 2 teammates taken out of the fray here. That means it stalls their ability to be able to play this next site. Now, the Innovators are in control, and they have to play retake once again on the side of 437 EU. But hey, taking out VPB might make it a little bit easier.
Yeah, and right now you can see this squad starting to push toward the back. 437 is pushing toward the back. All 3 players are right here, and this is exactly where you want to be. Why? Because if you're able to come through the back, take out all these players, they are going to be spawning on the complete opposite side of the map. And if you're able to do that, that means you can guarantee yourself those last 40 seconds. A lot of trades coming out. You see the kill feed going back and forth the last 5 kills, and that's really not going to be good for anybody. It's going to be coming down to this last little engagement. Tykin's going to need to do something, but he's going to get taken out by VPB, and that means that this squad in the Innovators is going to be holding this B hill for a good chunk of time going into this C hill right now. And now the big play is going to be on Silhouette as we stay on him.
Now, it seems like right now, 60-27 is the score line with 15 seconds left of the time. Going towards the way of the Innovators, the lead keeps growing exponentially. However, a good kill might make all the difference here as they're pushing their way onto the next objective here. The Innovators are once again in control. Kizaki, Hippo, both of them finding 1 kill apiece. Even Incredible gets in on the action. They take out 3 members on the side of the Innovators. This might be the first site they've had almost entirely control of for most of this game. They've been able to play retake. They've been able to grab the site on the tail end of its timer, but never this earlier on into the game. Glass moves right on in with the Lancer, but gets taken out almost immediately. Staying on the objective, I like that.
Yep.
Staying on the objective to burn up the time and not dying or giving up too quickly, because he's trying to keep them from closing that gap in between them. They've stopped so much time from that because none of them were willing to push out out of those doors to try and see if they can get the kill, because if that's the case, they can end up losing the fight. They don't know who else is on the other side waiting right there, and Kizaki loses to Silhouette. They still have to try and find some sort of way to at least stall out the remaining time, but the nano smoke might be enough for them to try and play this retake.
Yeah, and right there, that was one of those gunfights where you look at your loadout and you say, all right, which other submachine gun am I going to be using? Because this one clearly right now is not it for me. And man, like you said, they're going to be rotating over, trying to get control for this final hill. This is going to be a big fight for Silhouette. He's going to need to take out this player if he wants to get control, but no, Tykin's going to be winning that one, and that's going to be massive for this 437 EU squad because they're going to be picking them off very, very easily off of that zip line, and now it's going to be up to VPB trying to make something out of nothing with the Sahara. He's going to need to hit his head. He's on Gil. That's not going to happen. He's going to get taken out as Gil is going to be doing some amazing things right now, playing this middle area, locking it down. Silhouette coming in the back, trying to make these plays happen, trying to stay alive for his team and give them a chance because right now, 437 have control of this hill and they're not letting go.
And obviously you have somebody playing by double doors, so anyone that tries to push over to that side is going to be taken out, right? That's what we just saw with Silhouette. Silhouette tries to play, see if he can play as closely as possible to the objective without really stepping on site. He's trying to see if he can take out any stragglers, anyone on the side of 437 EU that might try and step off of that objective. But that didn't end up being the case. Instead, they had people positioned by double doors to try and see if they can take those fights and get the kills just like that one, 91-90. It is literally a 1-point lead. Tykins and Kizuki both going down means that somebody has to step on the objective. This is a 7-point lead right now. If they step on, they have to force OT, but they're already in a good enough spot to make that sure that doesn't happen.
Yeah, and we got ourselves a sudden death. Both of these players are going to be there, just need to finish them off just like that. And just like that, the Innovator is going to be getting the first round so quickly. My goodness, man, a great hold out of them. Man, that was just absolutely incredible stuff coming out of him.
Yeah, that is. The thing about this one is that was not only a close round, but we're talking about both teams going back and forth in between taking one objective and then the next one. 437 EU, you can lose that final point towards the tail end of that round about halfway through, and they just weren't able to make it back. The Innovators had great aggressive positioning to stop anyone trying to move it the double doors, trying to stop anyone using the zip line, trying to see if they can make it to that final objective. But I mean, hey, like that's about as good as you can ask of anyone, right? Like they tried to make it back on the site, it didn't quite work out. That's why we have another round for 437 to try their best.
Oh yeah, big time. And hey, if this squad learned anything that last round, I will say they're probably going to be kicking themselves about not rotating early enough. You know, the 437 squad, about 45 seconds left into that hill, they had control of that final hill, but it just took one push from Class. He was able to come off the top ropes and get behind them and take out two of the players and was able to open it up for them. So it's really going to be coming down to making sure that they have that roof control for that final hill, because that is the one thing they didn't have and probably the reason that they ended up losing that round overall. It was so close.
You know, it seems like right now they are in control of the objective. The 437 EU are just completely conceding that objective. They're just going to give that one up and see if they can fight for the next one. But Kizaki going down, that is not a good look. You give up all that time to see if you can even stay on the next objective, and you're getting taken out time and time again. Two of them are already down. Hippo manages to get at least one of them, and the rest of them have to try and see if they can make it onto the objective, onto the site. But you really have to be concerned about how the rest of this is going. VPB with two different shots. Silhouette finds another. That's going to net them control over this objective and allow them to keep their hold on it, because 437 EU have not been able to make it onto the site to try and take it back from them.
Yeah, and they spawned out so far away as well. They did exactly what I was talking about last round, push out the back and fully team wipe them. You know, all of them are going to be coming up this middle area, so now it's just going to be about holding these crosses and calling them out, and that's not going to be able to happen in a 2v1 as Tykins and Incredible are able to take out Class. Key and VPB going to be coming up big, though, for the hold. Going to need to take out this player as well, especially since he's tracked. My goodness, able to dodge the nade, but not able to dodge the bullets as Hypo comes on the side. But either way, they are having such a big lead going into this C hill. They're more than halfway there. This whole squad in 437 EU, they're going to have to hold this hill for a long time. But this is the hardest hill maybe in the game to hold and keep uncontested, just because both sides of the doorways, it's just so easy to contest on this hill.
So here we go, deja vu. We've seen the rerun of the same show before. They've been able to hold on to double doors here for so long, but this is a more dangerous angle for VPB to be taking. They weren't holding this angle last time around. I love playing on top of the rooftops, trying to see if you can keep the pressure on them, and he falls off the map. Unfortunate. Absent chat all around. I can't really say anything else about that, except for the fact that, once again, 437 EU, same rerun of the same show that we've seen before. They hold onto double doors, but there are people that are on the objective that are trying to keep them from doing that. Tykins pushes out between double doors and loses the fight. They get rid of Incredible as well, and now it seems like they're in full effect to retake this objective.
Oh no, in Class, going big with the life drain, and he's going to be adding insult to injury with the teabag. My goodness, able to do so many amazing things and add a little bit of disrespect for the cherry on top. And now we got 10 seconds left until this last hill, but man, they're going to be only 25 points away opposed to 135 points away for 437. And I'm not going to lie, right now, it's looking like we're going to be going to a 1-1 situation heading into map 3.
Yeah, right now, it is impossible for them to be able, or at least it's looking impossible for them to be able to retake this objective. However, they were able to get a couple earlier kills. Tykin's trying to push out, trying to take care of that Lancer, and he does. Now they're in control of the objective. This is going to take a miracle for them to be able to hold on to this objective for that long. I mean, this is a tall order, but with each passing moment, each passing fight, 437 are making it look more and more possible. Lancer is pushing along the rooftops, pops that quick and quiet. Let's try and see if they can move in, but she's being attacked from two different angles. Kizaki's right there, but the one on the ground, they can't see up there. They can't actually take them out. Instead, they take care of Class. This is, I am so serious when I'm saying that this is going to have to take a miracle. I don't know how, this is going to be insane in terms of how long they're going to have to hold on to this objective without giving an inch to the Innovators.
Yeah, they've already held on for 40 seconds, but they're going to have to hold on for about 60 more if they want to win this bad boy. They're pretty much halfway there, so I won't say it's impossible, but I will say that you can't have any unfavorable trades. You get an even trade right there coming out. You're going to be able to take out two players right there. Coming off the top ropes is Kizaki, and just like that, Kizaki putting them in the blender, taking out two, and we got ourselves a much closer game than we initially thought.
This is looking a little bit more Dangerous Class, VPB, Silhouette, all of them have to push up here. And Kazaki has to try and find a way out. Key downs himself with one of the nades and actually forces himself on respawn. BB takes out 2. Taiken's incredible. Both of them are down. Now it's up to 2 members left on the objective. 437 Esports. Kazaki swings out, manages to get one bite. She can't actually help him out. Phantom can't help him out in time. Key manages to get one down, and they do actually take that victory at the last second. They swing around just in time, man. If Phantom would have died a second sooner, that would have been 437's game to take. If they would have died a second sooner, that would have absolutely been 437's game to take.
That was so close. My goodness. One of the scariest, actually the scariest sounds in Rogue Company is a Lancer life draining. And the fact she was able to get one and get a second one, it was looking crazy there for a second. Almost able to turn and burn that final player. My goodness, that would have been such a crazy clutch up from this squad, man. But it is going to be 1-1 after all the drama, after all the amazing gameplay that we saw right there. That was a much closer match than the 2-0s showed. That did not do it justice, because this squad in 4-3-7, they were putting up a fight that we're going to be able to see in these replays right here.
Yeah, my goodness, man. I mean, once again, an amazing King of the Hill match to be able to be taken. But Innovators seem to have 437's number, 437's number on that map right there. Palace was a little bit harder of a map for 437 to sort of take. Them getting those kills there towards the end, though, was absolutely huge. Dropping down and making sure that they got those kills in the very first round that we saw the Innovators actually end up taking that round was big. That gave them the point they needed, but 437 definitely down but not out. We see a lot of different times throughout the match to where we see them not only playing retake of different sites, but we see them holding on extremely strongly, right, to a lot of these different fights. And VPB, this was such a powerful angle for VPB to be holding, and it didn't end up working out in the best way possible. They get one down, but for the most part, they still held on to that objective for quite some time. They still try and push in, see if they can put the stop to him. Class gets 2 kills here in a situation where he by no means should live at all. And it just ends up working for him. Kazaki, that was such an amazing play. Positioning up above Silhouette and VPB on top of the roof. This is what I was talking about. If Phantom goes down while she's up on top, if she goes down while she's up on top of the roof, right there, that's absolutely 437's game. If she got taken out on top of the roof right there, that was absolutely 437's game.
100%, 100,000%. That was such a close call. My goodness. But we're going to be going into Canal's demolition, and right now, it essentially resets right now, man. You can take this as it's looking like a qualifier right now. It's a straight up best of 3. That's what the final 3 maps comes down to. So you got to win one of the demos, and let's see who's going to win that King of the Hill, man. It is going to be so much fun. We at least guarantee ourselves to see a King of the Hill on Windward, so that is going to be fun. But this map, Canals, this is an interesting map because I feel like this is definitely one of those maps where it's, if you practice it, it's going to pay off. And one thing that I will say about the Innovators is the Innovators were up at 4 in the morning last night scrimmaging. Yes, 4 in the morning scrimmaging against Empire of the Sun. I was in Empire of the Sun's call with them while they were going over some things and scrimmaging and things like that. And I'm not gonna lie, Empire of the Sun, they were putting it on them on this Canals map, and they even played Canals twice in their scrimmages last night, just because this is a map that they have said to struggle on. They have tried different compositions. Last night they tried a Mac, an Anvil, and a Trench on defense. They went super trophied up, and they ended up getting kind of destroyed with that composition, so they changed things up a little bit in the second time. So let's see what the bans are going to be, because I'm very interested to see how they're going to be adjusting to this situation. And it looks like they are going to be banning the Ronin out. 437 is going to say, look, we're going to get that glitch out of here. Glitch going to be banned most likely a lot of the times today, so not surprised about that.
Yeah, I'm not surprised to see the Ronin ban on this map either, because of the fact that we're talking about a situation where this is a wider map. That intel is going to be extremely important. We're talking about a situation where this map is from A to B site. There is so much space in between there. You have to worry about factory and mid. Too many angles you can be attacked from. And there's a difference between understanding that a Lancer is flanking and understanding that somebody that you can't see is flanking, right? no matter what intel it is that you have, them not being able to show up on the map, that you not being able to know where they're coming from is going to be a lot more effective, in my opinion, than a Lancer. Lancer can still be picked on this map, but I definitely understand the Ronin ban there. Obviously, Glitch is going to be taken out too. Too much intel and too much stalling on his side of his kit because of his ability. His ability is going to be able to keep anyone from pushing into site. It's going to make people rethink when they choose to actually go in. If they push in and he hacks at the right time, that's a lot of situations you're not going to be able to deal with. No utility, no abilities to be able to try and help make it easier for you to get that bomb plant down. I definitely understand both of these bans, and they're both good bans on either side.
Yeah, 100%. So many different rogues that can be chosen. Like you said, the Lancer might still be an option. Personally, I don't think that the Lancer is going to get picked today just because, now that she's able to get revealed at all times on the flank, it's very hard to find that timing and be useful for your team, because guess what? The offense knows if the defense picked Lancer, all we got to do is put something on the flank to watch for and then push forward for the 4v3. So let's go ahead and see what rogues are going to be locked in, because we're going straight into the game right now. It's going to be Canals. This is going to be a very explosive matchup. And right now, I'm excited to see if the Innovators are going to be able to win this map, because they have said and stated so many times that they need to practice this map. This is a map that they struggle on out of all the demolition maps, and they're seeing it in round 1 of the 10K main event. So no better way to see if you're ready for it than to play it right now.
Yeah, here we are. This is going to be the tiebreaker here for 437 EU versus the Innovators. As right now, once again, Scorch isn't banned out now. So that being the case, that means that she has more of an opportunity. We're seeing a lot more of Chalk recently as well. That's what's interesting me more than anything, is the utilization of Chalk and how people like the fact of him technically having like 2 get out of jail free cards, right? You have the Dahlia to be able to link with him. That role while you're down definitely plays a huge portion into that. That means that Dahlia can get picked up way easier. She can escape to safety when she needs to. And it allows her to be able to really enable Chalk a lot more than he can enable himself, right? Because it's always a choice. You have the active ability. With the active ability, it's always a choice. I'm either going to use it to go in, or I'm going to use it to res myself. With Dahlia, it eliminates one of those 2 options. You don't have to use it to res yourself. You can really rely on the Dahlia, and it really sets forward a super recognizable precedent with this. I mean, I am loving the Chalk Dahlia combo, but Scorch Dahlia is also going to be extremely powerful too. I mean, being immune to incense, you got to be careful.
Oh yeah, big time, big time. It is going to be 2 mollies on this defensive side, so they are going to really be trying to press the issue, not letting them plant this bad boy. And if I'm the offensive team, if I'm this Chalk, I'm saying, look, I want to go wherever the trench is, and if I go to B and I see the trench has his trophies all set up on the backside of Propane, I'm not going to be feeling too confident about that. Let's cut this bad boy out and go to A, or we think the trench is going to go B and set up pretty basic. So let's go ahead and straight up push out A, and it looks like that is what they're going to be opting to do right now. As it looks like, who is this on this side? It is going to be Tykins that is going to be setting up over here at this A site. So now it's going to be all about, is Tykins going to be able to hold it down? The trench wasn't over here, so he's not going to be setting up any claymores or anything like that. And you can see the trench, he was in B cut playing that bad boy. And now it's going to be all about getting this plant down. And it looks like they are going to be pushing into the cut instead. Tykins downed himself on accident with that amazing play, but right now, Class, he's got to take out 1, got to take out 2. Another one is going to be behind ammo. Got to take him out. Yes, able to do that. Now that you just got to worry about the trench that is left. Man, that was just so unfortunate to start off a round and molly yourself to go down. That is just super unfortunate. I understand he was getting pushed by a Chalk with 170 HP. Very scary, but, still it remains that you got to be able to use that utility correctly.
Yeah, right now, it's becoming more and more of a problem as the timer has now been not only cut short, but now you have to deal with the bomb being planted. And that's going to be something that they're going to have to play a very heavy retake game doing. 437 EU, I mean, there is one of you, 4 of them. I don't think there's any reason that he should be able to come in and clear out all 4 of them. Tykins downing himself definitely played a hand into the Innovators being able to get that bomb plant down in Class, picking up the kill with the melee just to finish him off. He gets a good couple shots, but he's not going to be able to push in and retake that. No way.
Yeah, but he might be able to get the finish. No, that was so close, man. He might have been able to get some elimination money right there. Don't give it to him. No, wasn't able to go down right there. So, no money was going to be given over right there. So nice stuff all around. But man, you look at this play, and just like that Chalk was pushing straight in, not letting up whatsoever. And then right here with the pistol, the accuracy, it's amazing. Out of class, able to down 3 people in this round, pushing out that cut. Like I said, if I'm the Chalk, I want to go wherever the trench isn't and push it fast. That's exactly what they did on that first round. They used their Chalk to push out that A cut where the trench wasn't. Beautiful.
Yeah, right now, the next match has started up. The next round, excuse me, has started up. As I don't think they know that their opportunity is A here. The call out must have been made because now they're definitely rotating, it seems like. They don't hear anyone close by. And so contextual clues will let you know that they are going to be going to A next. Tosses out so many APSs just to try and see if they can stop the push in, but Key manages to down Tykins. That's one down again. Kizaki cooks up a nade and manages to take down 2. The instant forces out the Chalk and forces the ability pop. He has to be able to pick up VPB here, keep himself alive. Oh. Incredible pushes in, but a little bit too aggressive. They swing at the wrong time. Incredible. That's so unfortunate. Yeah, that is. Incredible pushes in just to get the down. You don't need to do that. Like, he tries to push in to see if he can get the kill on the down. One of them's watching by stairs. Chalk and VPB are both behind the crate. The crate's too wide to swing instantly. You just need to let the person down die, because 9 times out of 10, they aren't going to be able to make it around the corner in a quick enough time. Because, like, look at this. Incredible pushes in, gets downed by the person on the stairs. They try and rotate around because Hippo's trying to see if he can help out. It's not going to be in enough time. The crate is too wide to swing instantly. You have to be in position already before you decide if you're going to push up like that. And I don't think it's worth it to push to just get a kill on somebody that's down. It's about stalling. This is what I mean about manipulating the timer. It's not always about getting these kills and making sure that just because you have 4 people down, great, we won the round. It's about preventing them from getting that bomb plant. And that, in my opinion, is a bad way to sort of play that. And that's so unfortunate because that was definitely their round to win.
Oh, yeah, big time. 3v2 situation. You're pushing into a Chalk. I will say, though, Class right now is playing like a man possessed. He is not missing anything right now. He is making sure that his submachine gun is absolutely spitting in all of these gunfights, man. He has been the catalyst behind them in these first 2 rounds, and now they're going to be pushing out this B site. Not exactly sure how they're going to be doing this at a man disadvantage right now, with the Scorch in Hippo trying his best. Dahlia does go down by a bounce nade, though, and that is going to be very, very bad for the defense. They're going to need to get her up immediately if possible. Scorch going to be going out as well, and that is just not what you want to see. They were able to get that Dahlia up, but now you got to retake, and you don't have a Scorch. That means you only have 1 Molly, a couple smokes, some grenades. You got to make it happen.
I was wondering why Scorch was playing so far up, when most of her team seems to be behind the crate. It seems like they got forced out of that position. I would just play... I would at least, if I was a Scorch, I would play a little bit on the left side. Just try and see if they can stop the Innovators from getting in. And that way she can take a little bit more of some aggressive plays, a little bit more of aggressive angles with her ability, because it makes it that much more simpler. Chalk is in a great spot, just like the rest of the team. You're pushing you're pushing a choke, and it's not going to be good enough because there's too many angles you have to be concerned about. You see, the minute that Chalk manages to get damage on one, the rest of the team behind Tykins is also getting lit up because we're talking about somebody playing on top of the cargo crates. And that is extremely prominent positioning from both of them. You see that he's getting damage off, but there's more people shooting around the corner. It's hard to play that retake. I think there's a few small issues with how they've been playing and approaching a lot of these fights in these very first 3 rounds. They definitely have time to pick it up and turn it around for themselves, but I don't think that was necessarily... They've been making very small mistakes that have led to bigger issues so far.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, 100%. Right now, it looks like it is going to be a straight-up B push coming out of this squad, and you can see he's already going to be popping the ult. And Kazaki, what are you doing playing up like that with no intel? As Kazaki going to be taken out just like that. And now it's another 3v4 situation, except this time, instead of having your Scorch down, you have your Dahlia down, and that's even more important.
Yeah, right now, I'm trying to see if they can push around for a little bit. They're trying to rotate so they can go to a different site. But obviously, 437 smells something is up, and they follow them. They rotate out to see if they can try and put a stall to their pressure so far. Kesher uses the drones to push out, but Chalk gets crossfire, but the nade takes out 2 VPB. Takes out both Hippo and Tykins in the same vein and manages to not only net themselves around, but they're able to get the following kill on the person in front of Chalk that managed to down him. They had a beautiful crossfire, but the nade was too prominent. VPB, once again, takes out 2 and wins them that round pretty much.
Yeah, big time. And you see the triple threes across the board for Silky and VPB as they all have 3 downs, but Class right now is going to be leading the way with 7 all to himself, man. 7 downs through these first 4 rounds that they have found themselves victorious in. And, you know, their offense is looking very, very good. And I will say, compared to last night, they definitely look a lot cleaner on this map. And that's why I said practice makes perfect. This squad, one of the few squads that is really going to be grinding it out daily, doing hours and hours of scrims, making sure that they are fully locked in for this tournament, ready to go up against absolutely anybody that they see. And Kazaki, yet again, do not do it, Kazaki, please. Thank you. He is going to be backing on up out of there, hopping over the propane, heading on back. Yeah, thank you, Kazaki, very much.
Yeah, right now, instead he's going to take a more passive angle. He's not going to try and push out or do anything overextensive. Kazaki cooks the nade for too long and ends up nading himself. Silhouette manages to kill Kazaki with his drones, but Key is at least taken out. So they've at least gotten a 1-for-1 trade. If you count your own teammate trading themselves out, then that's fine. You have a more situation where you have to be careful about Class pushing in, though, managing to cover for his teammate and manages to get so many kills because of that. Silhouette swings around as well just to try and keep the pressure on, toss out the nade to force away the score. Scorch pushes through, and Silhouette's not there to make sure they get the trade off. Oh, and he wins! Hippo wins the actual trade.
Hippo able to do it all at the end, man, clutching up where they needed him the most. That's exactly what you want and what you need, especially when you're down 4-0. They're able to get their first round on the board in this demolition. And I will say, overall, the Innovators, they're up 4-1. Their first... I'm going to be completely honest. Their first map of demolition in this series, I did not like their defense whatsoever. I felt like they had the better composition in the second half. And then they ended up getting, in my opinion, smoked on that offensive side. It just was so good for 437 EU, just able to push them out exactly however they wanted, it seemed like. And, you know, right now we're going to need to see if they're going to be able to come up with something, because we already know that 437 EU, they're comfortable on the offensive end. And this map right here isn't necessarily offense or defensive sided. It's really more about team sided. It's really going to be about what team is going to be playing more team coordinated rogue company at the end of the day. And right now, the Innovators are doing a very good job of that. They're going to need to keep that up, because 437 is definitely going to be coming back swinging, in my opinion, on the offensive end.
4-1. They've got this round and the next one before they have to worry about the half being switched. And right now, they are at least keeping pressure on them for the time being. They have the bomb, and they're just trying to play passively here. Nothing's really being pushed out too much. Class wants to try and get things started by using his active ability. Gets the earlier kill. Kazaki manages to get Key, but Class is also taken out of the fray. That's a 2-for-1 trade there. And a third one goes down soon after that as well. Now we're talking about 437 EU doing an amazing job at holding it down. Silhouette has to back up, and they're chasing a little bit too heavily, I would say. They have to swing this together, or otherwise it's going to be a problem. Silhouette might be able to clutch this one out. You have to be careful with how you swing and play a lot of these fights. Instead, they're going to move back and just defend the bomb. I appreciate that a lot more. It's a lot safer play. You don't want to throw away the lead it is that you have.
Yeah, even though they snapped, revealed him in there, they said, you know what, guys, back up, play the angles, play the bomb. Now he's calling him out. He's on me. They got an easy 2-for-1. My goodness, that almost Almost went a little bit sour for them, but they were able to take him out and get that next round, bringing it a little bit closer. And like I said, this 4-3-7 squad, they are not going to go away quietly.
And right now, that's the 4-2. Now we're talking about the last round before the half switch. And something you have to be pretty concerned about, I would say, as they are currently trying to find their footing here on the side of 4-3-7 EU. Maybe things will change around on the attacker side of it. Right now, we definitely got to give the lead and the perspective to the Innovators. They've been doing extremely well with both class just pretty much hitting W key. I mean, honestly, that's what Chalk enables you to do. And Dahlia having his back, like I said, it enables his ability to be able to be used that way because you don't have to really be as concerned about, hey, I got to use it to res myself. We're instead just going to use Chalk Dahlia and be that much stronger. And I think that that is a great look for the Innovators, in all honesty. And that's a great opportunity for them to be able to have this sort of team composition that enables their playstyle because it's clearly working well.
Yeah, it's working amazing for them. And right now they have a wide open A site. The only thing they got to worry about is the Scorch in the cut. So if they're able to maybe smoke this bad boy out, and then as I say that, Kazaki going to be moving on over. So now they have two people here, but I don't know if they've really shown all that much. As right now it is going to be a Choco versus a Scorchel, and the Scorch going to be winning that one out, man. I'm not exactly sure who's supposed to win that one. I don't know how many times I've seen that interaction before. That was very, very good. You know, Scorch gets that extra damage from her bullets, and Chalk gets the extra health, so I don't really know who's supposed to come out on top, man. That was a very good gunfight, though. Kept me entertained, and right now, 4v2 situation for this offensive squad in the Innovators. They're going to need to hold this one out because this is going to be a hard bomb to hold with this squad coming in to retake it.
Yeah, right now there's only two of them still remaining, and that's great. They've been able to at least put out some opening shots. They know that Scorch is coming around the corner. They do make it there, and Dallas has the snap ready and waiting. They can actually play the fight here. I love that. Kestrel actually forcing the fight there with the drones. This is a 2v4. In no way. Key gets another. Kazaki goes down, and they manage to get incredible as well. What wonderful play on the side of the Innovators. They make that round goes entirely to them just off of being well played, man. I mean, that's all them. That's all them. Right. Well played by the Innovators.
Oh, yeah, big time right there. That is all communication, coordination, and accuracy. You combine those three, you always have a chance of clutching up. Now, we do got a little bit of a bracket update for you guys on at least 4 of these first round matchups that we've seen. So we do have Just Us that were able to win over Imagine on Perf. We also have Empire of the Sun that was able to take out Lagger Esports. So they're going to be heading on to the losers bracket. We also got Gotti the OG who did take a win over Rogue is Good, followed up by Right Turtle, going to be taking a win over the Duo +2. And then last but not least, we also have Sweet Moose that was able to take out Hefty Rogue. So already 5 teams have moved on to the quarterfinal, where we're going to have Just Us taking on Empire of the Sun and Gotti the OG taking on Right Turtle. It's already getting super sweaty, Fawn.
Yeah, I am impressed not only with Innovators winning that map or winning that round, but keeping themselves afloat almost in its entirety, right? Like, I mean, that is well played by the Innovators. Here we are swapping sides as 4-3-7 are now the ones that have to plant this bomb and make it go their way. This is, wow, man. In terms of drafts, we have the Scorch. We also have the Anvil, a character that we haven't seen be picked as frequently, mostly because of Glitch being an inclusion and very prominent in the meta. It's hard to pick Anvil because you get extremely countered, extremely hard countered. Glitch, for those of you that don't know, if Glitch hacks you while Anvil has his barricade out, then it destroys the barricade in its entirety. You typically don't see him as much anymore in these drafts, and I guess we're not seeing him this round either. He's the first one that ends up going down here.
Yeah, definitely not the way you want to start it off. And he's going to get full killed. That's the worst part, because even if he goes down, you know, you can still get up and have that easy retake with that Anvil shield. But when your main character in the retake goes down, it just makes it 90 times harder. And now they're really just going to have to rely on some great team shots and team play to come in, and they're able to get 2 down just like that. And only the Dahlia is going to be left alive. She's at the blue crate, and she's going to be getting put right in a sandwich. as that is not going to be going well for her, as that Dahlia Res is going to be coming through as well, and all 4 players for 437 are going to be alive after that one.
Yeah, they are. It's a very clean sweep, very consistent, very concise play, very surgical, I would say, as they sort of slowly took apart Innovators for how that round was going. And now we have to be a little bit more concerned about heading into the future rounds because Class going down first, not necessarily because of his playstyle or anything of the sort. I definitely think that they just hit the gas on that, really. And I think they sort of force out a lot of these fights. Makes it hard, like I said, for anyone to trade into Scorch. That's darn near impossible unless it's herself. Like, there's not going to be a lot of characters that can really outtrade her in that aspect of things. She's typically going to do much more damage than majority of the other players on the other side. Class, though, has to pretty much pop up that barricade and close. He has to use that barricade in a way to close off a certain perspective, like close off like an alleyway or something, right? A choke point for them to make it onto these sites wherever it is that he's playing. At least that's how I see it. If they're struggling trying to keep them from being off of site.
Yeah, right now it looks like he's just playing the passive game, just trying to play for that safe retake. He's got the trophies there. You see the one got burned already, so now he does have a C4. So now it's going to be all about this C4 play, and do these players already have tenacity? He's going to be lining up this C4. He can hear them. The second that bomb starts to get planted, that C4 is going to be coming out. You see the Scorch. She's got the bomb on her back. The C4 came out a little bit early. Looks like wasn't able to take anyone out with it. He hurt himself with it accidentally. I'm not sure why he blew himself up on that bad boy, but that nade not going to be doing anything as that Anvil somehow lived through that one. That was a close call, but Scorch going to be chilling right on site. Looks like she is going to be heading on behind that box now, so this is going to be a very difficult 4v4 retake, but it's going to have to be perfect out of class on this Anvil. Nice. Just like that. Downing the first player, that is big. 2 players are going to be long. One's in the cut. You got to focus out which one you're going to go for. Got to have good communication, as right now it's still a 4v3 situation. C4 going to be coming out. They're going to be able to down Hippo with that C4, getting that full kill. Now one's up top. Last player's going to be in the cut. You know exactly where he's at. Take him out with ease, and that's going to be a solid retake for the side of the Innovators, going up 6-3 in this awesome demolition matchup.
Yeah, 437, they were able to get the bomb down, but obviously playing immediately after that is just becoming a little bit too difficult for them, right? Anvil doesn't even throw up the barricade. I thought after that first kill, he would actually just throw up the barricade and just stick with the plant since the rest of his team is sort of pushing up. They have the numbers advantage. They can utilize it that way. But hey, why not push everyone out, get that little bit of extra cash, and then, of course, defuse the bomb to make it even easier for you guys to have money coming into the next round. I think that's a great opportunity for the Innovators here. 6-3 so far, and only 2 more rounds needed for the Innovators to actually take this next game.
Yeah, right now the Innovators looking very, very good. You know, they did drop the first map in the series, but they were able to win that King of the Hill with a lot of, I will say, a lot of swagger, because it was a close game, but the way that they were able to finish those bad boys off, those rounds off, it was just amazing teamwork all around coming out of this squad to tie this thing up at 1-1. So now we just got to see how exactly they are going to stop this squad. Now, 437 EU, we saw that their offense was so good on Favelas. Now we got to see if they're going to be able to replicate that here as they're making an A push. The Talon, he knows that they're here. The C4 is going to be coming out, and he's going to be able to get it down. But the bomb went down. That's the problem. It's planted for the ship, and that player's getting revived, and now it's a 4v4 retake straight up with an Anvil. There's only going to be 1 Molly on the offensive team, so this retake is very doable if you are this squad in 437 EU. Or excuse me, in Innovator.
Anvil has to go first. Like, Class has to put down his barricade so that way they can actually fight them off of the bomb. As before the smoke's down, he has to use that opportunity, and he does. He manages to land. He actually manages to land the barricade. They throw out nades and everything, but once those nades are down, they have to push up. That's what they want to use. They want to utilize this opportunity as best as they can. The LMG is going to try and keep the pressure on him. Anvil swings around, gets one, and finds the others. They clean them up. 437 EU. They are going to go down. Innovators take this round. That's all that's going to be available to them. 7-3, and this is going to be match point for the Innovators.
Yeah, and right there, the Innovators just stayed solid, but I will say that's more of a mistake on 437 EU's part. They already had the molly on the shield. They just needed to keep shooting that bad boy, but instead they tried to push out long to get an angle behind the shield, but really all they had to do right there was just keep on shooting that shield. They had almost gotten rid of it. The shield was almost completely gone. They just had to finish it off, but weren't able to do that. They could have stayed up on that high ground inside of the boat. There was really no need to push out long right there. Just unfortunate out of this 437 squad because that was such a great offensive round start, even able to get the bomb down with that revive coming through, making it a 4v4, having your molly ready. They just weren't able to clutch up exactly how they need to. You see the trophy's going to be coming out, and this anvil is already setting up this B site very nicely.
Yeah, hmm. I'm just looking at like what their perspective could potentially be, mostly like what they could be trying to go for here. It seems like they're obviously trying to push into B site for now. Talon's going around. Okay, now this I like. I like Talon taking the longest route possible around around them to try and see if he can play in the back, just to see if he can try and pick off anyone that might be trying to retreat. The only thing is that Talon's going so far around that when he makes it to where they're at, he has to keep the pressure on. Like he can't really forfeit or waste any time because it took him so long to go around you.
Yeah, and just like that, they're able to down a Scorch. Scorch gets Dahlia revived, but the Dahlia on this squad and Innovators goes down. Key able to get the big pick on Dallas. That's major because no more reveal is going to be in this round for this squad. And now it's only the Kestrel that is up, but she's up against 2 players. So she will be able to take them out if she has not used her Kestrel yet. She might be saving that bad boy. There's the Kestrel coming out, zoning him off. She's able to win. No! She's going to get taken out by
she
Key.
lost.
Oh my goodness. I thought Tykins was able to win that bad boy, but no. Innovators gonna be taking him out. My goodness, Key going massive. Like you said, you like the flank and they like the victory screen, going up 2-1 in the series. My goodness, Innovators right there able to clutch up exactly when they needed to.
That was such a Oh my goodness, man. That was such a powerful flank from Key right there. I mean, I had mentioned it before. I said that I really liked how they were going and how they were adapting to the situation. Talon going all the way around the flank. If he shows up and nobody knows if nobody's ready for him to be there, then they get taken out. That's exactly what we saw happen. Key flanks all the way around to the back by their spawn, takes the long way around. He shows up, he makes an impact by getting that first pick, and they aren't quite able to close that one out. Innovators are going to be the one that take that one. That was just well played by the Innovators, man. I mean, I'm impressed by how they've been playing so far, honestly.
Oh yeah, big time. After that first demolition, they have looked so clean since then. All around looking amazing. I will say it looks like practice did make perfect because guess what? Last night, Canals had to practice it a little bit. You know, it's looking a little bit shaky, but right now here in the main event where it matters, they were able to put it out there and get a win. So I know that is going to be a massive, massive lift off of their shoulders, weight off of their shoulders, if you will, because they were a little bit nervous probably coming into this map. So let's go ahead and check out the replays of this Canals game that we just witnessed, man. It was so good.
They push around the corner, obviously. Chalk tries to keep the pressure on them. There's a lot of times where we see this combo work out so well, and I think this is some of the most optimized play that we've seen with both Dahlia and Chalk, honestly. We've shown how they enable each other extremely well. Obviously, Dahlia gets linked to Chalk. We see right there that she rolled into him just to make sure that she can get that easy res. It keeps the pressure up. There's a few rounds that 437 EU I think did really well, but I think that those small mistakes in the very beginning of the game that gave the Innovators the lead in the first place was part of the main reason as to why they weren't quite able to win the rest of the rounds there. I think that is such a unfortunate part of that. I think that 437 had the right ideas, but I think that they got so into executing them as quickly as they possibly could that they just ended up falling flat. And a lot of those times it ended up with them losing the round. It just goes to show that those first 4 rounds really meant something because they kept their lead and their point lead for so long, and it made it that much harder for 437 to sort of climb back up. After that 2v4, I definitely think that 437 takes mental damage there. I think that makes it pretty dangerous to try and play from that far down. That's something that you have to sort of shake off and try and keep moving forward with.
Yeah, and if you're the 437 squad, you just got to look at this. You got to look at this mode right here,
Mm,
Windward, King of the Hill. You got to say, look, we got 2-0'd on Palace, but we were
mm,
so close both of those rounds. Let's go ahead and tee up. Let's do what we know we're capable of and win this Windward,
mm,
because I will say both of these teams are capable of winning either of these matchups. This right here is a matchup in round one that I definitely was interested in, mainly because these two teams are so evenly matched overall. You know, you look at the records of both of them coming into this series, and you know, you got the Innovators. They went 6-3 this month in their overall matches during the qualifiers. And then you got, you got this other squad, you got 437. They ended up going 7-3, ironically, in that. So they barely were able to, win one more map more than this, or one more series, excuse me, more than this Innovator squad. So both of these teams so evenly matched, so even coming into this. Anyone could win this bad boy, and I'm just
mm.
super excited to witness this one, because right now 437, they're the higher seed coming into this, as they did get second place in that last qualifier. So we just got to see exactly how this bad boy is going to be shaken out.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how they're going to end up playing Windward as well. I mean, this is another one of those maps where you really need to understand the intel. You really need to be able to utilize the intel in a way that makes sense, because of the fact that you can end up picking characters like Ronin. I imagine we see a Ronin ban here personally. I definitely think we see the Scorch ban. I imagine we see the Ronin ban here. It depends, really. It depends on if they sort of feel the need to ban out either that Ronin or that Vi.
Oh yeah, and let's go ahead and check out what they felt like banning with these bans from each of these squads right now.
Okay,
Looks
so it
like
is a
it is
Vi.
going to be Scorch and Vi yet again. So like we said, most likely not going to be seeing Scorch in most of these King of the Hills today. But hey, look, you never know. It might be slipping through eventually. But right here on this Windward, that is not going to be the case. So we're most likely going to be seeing a whole lot of Kestrel, a whole lot of Dallas, and who knows with the rest. Lancer right now, she's super popular on this map simply because it is such a large map. Getting those angles, getting those spawns. We all know about that C hill. That C hill, those spawns are oh so important. You can get the full 75 points on that C hill. Really the only hill on this map that's possible on. So it's overall just the most important hill. And we got to see these teams fight out over it, because it is going to be an absolute bloodbath with these rogues that they're leaving up, man. Leaving up the Kestrel and the Dallas, is they always typically are nowadays. You're just going to see them every single game, and it's going to be an absolute
Mhm.
brawl.
Yeah, I mean, once again, like Scorch and Vi are great on these types of game modes. Honestly, I definitely think that Vi really plays a specific kind of retake game that a lot of other rogues can't really match in terms of her pace. And obviously, Scorch is Scorch, right? I mean, she's one of the more prominent duelists in the game. I've mentioned it before multiple times, but Scorch is really just really strong. And we saw her being utilized in, I think, a way that was very powerful last game, even though 437 ended up losing the game. I still think that they showed a great testament as to her skill and her perspective. So it definitely makes sense that they would get rid of the Scorch. Definitely makes sense they would get rid of the Vi. And I'm interested to see who they're going to draft from this point on, honestly.
Oh yeah, big time. It's a lot of power rogues still available, and that is the thing, man. Right now with these solo bans, you can still pretty much play almost what you are
Mm,
feeling like. It's not really a lot of target bans for players right now. It's more about team bans and what our team doesn't want to play against. We're not sitting here looking like you're a
mm.
good Kestrel, so we're gonna ban Kestrel
Right,
for
right.
King of the Hill. That doesn't really happen nowadays. So who knows? Maybe there'll be more bans in the future. Who knows what all is gonna happen, what's got in store for Rogue Company. But right now, with this meta, let's go ahead and load into Windward, see what they're going to be putting around the Kestrel and the Dallas, because that's pretty much a given that they're going to be on both squads.
Yeah, this is very interesting in terms of how this matchup has been so far. We have really seen a back and forth here between these two teams, and I'm excited to see who really takes the stride here. Do we see another tie? Do we go to a game five, or do the Innovators really just have one up on 437 EU? I think this is a great opportunity to be able to show that, as this is 437's EU's last opportunity to try and see if they can tie things up and take us to a game five. But everyone's trying to see who they can pick here. And once again, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw VPB and Class and Key and all of them really run the same sort of team that we saw them run on Palace. When we're looking at different game modes, and it seems like this might be what we're going for right here. We're going Kestrel. Yeah, I think this is the same. Yeah, this is like the same team that we saw last time. Like, this is actually the same team that we saw last time, I believe, on Palace. We saw Kestrel, Phantom, Dallas, and Lancer, I believe, was the team.
Yeah.
And this time,
Oh, yeah.
Incredible's actually going to go chalk. Not going to be a mirror match, but they're going to at least try and enable themselves and outpace Innovators squad right here.
Yeah, almost a mirror match, and I'm really not mad at it right now because we saw what the Chalk was able to do in that demolition, so maybe he's looking at that and saying, you know what, let's go ahead and transfer that demolition play from the Chalk on over to this King of the Hill, because we saw so many times that Chalk was just leading the way in the hands of Class. Man, he was doing absolutely amazing things with that. So 4-3-7, maybe they looked at that and said, hey, we'll go ahead and put that bad boy on our team this time for this respawn and see how this works out instead. So trading out that Phantom Smoke, that health regen, for a little bit of extra HP and a little bit more presence in that pushing ability. So we are going to be able to see how he's going to be able to use this Chalk. And man, I am so hyped, man. This music just gets me super hyped, getting ready to fly out into this match, man. I hope you guys are hyped just as much as I am, because right now, Class, he's going to be hopping out just a tad bit late, which actually changes a lot. This is good. This matters a lot. Okay, so those that don't know, this is King of the Hill. So right now, the Lancer is late. She's supposed to be the first one to the site. Both Lancers are doing a little bit of loopy things. One Lancer is taking the zip line on the other side of the map. This Lancer is late, so she's not going to be able to push into the site how she normally likes to. But it doesn't matter because her team did the work anyway. I have no idea what Kazaki's doing. He's flipping the spawns for next already. You can see the Chalk just spawned up, and now they're going to be able to push back to this first hill from the favorable spawn for next hill. Oh my goodness, this might be the biggest brain play that I've ever seen in King of the Hill.
Now, here we are sitting on time for 4-3-7 EU. We are looking, and a beautiful stick as well, just to make sure they get that kill. Make it harder for them to obviously play that retake, but they are going to sit on the point for just a little bit longer, try and see if they can stall things out. They may have flipped the spawns, but the point lead has not gained exponentially on the side of 4-3-7 EU. For right now, it seems like the Innovators have still maintained control over this objective, as we have 5 seconds remaining before the next hill already spawns, and it seems like people are already trying to fight forward. Hippo's around the corner, loses majority of that fight, but pushes through anyway. The nades get tossed out, but pushes through anyway and ends up getting downed.
Yeah, now we just got to see how fighting for these spawns early from this Lancer, if it's going to pay off. You can already see VPB and Key, they're coming here to fight for these spawns. Incredible Gil, they already spawned out, so the spawns have already flipped. You can't run away that way. That angle's going to be too easy for Key, as he's going to be taking him out, and now we got ourselves a fight for the site, as Hippo's going to be able to take out Sil. Class takes out Hippo in return. Kazaki takes out Class. We got ourselves a ton of trades going down. A big fight for the site, 2v2. Chalk and Dallas going to be battling it out. Who's going to be coming out victorious right now? It is a little bit of a stalemate. Finally going to be hopping onto the side, obliterating the Chalk. But just like that, that Kestrel is going to be absolutely deleting VPB and Key back to the lobby. And we got ourselves a tie game, 20 seconds left on this B hill. And who has the spawns for C hill? Right now, it's 4-3-7 EU.
Yeah, this is clinical right now from 4-3-7 EU. They are really methodically winning these objectives over, keeping these fights in their favor. They're holding on to these sites extremely well, most of the time because they know where the Innovators have to attack from. We saw that happen several times where they tried to push through. Obviously, Tychons is there, throws out the Halo drones, gets 2 of them down. They use the nano smoke on the side of the Innovators to try and play that retake a lot easier, and I love how they utilize that. But at the end of the day, it just didn't end up working out how they may have liked it to. 4-3-7 have really been in control so far on Windward here, and they're trying to keep the pressure on, tries to take the fight, but Class is actually just going to take this one, 39-78. If they hold on to this objective for quite some time, they'll be able to even up the score, and I believe overtake by a couple points, 4-3-7. Right now, it seems like things are becoming more and more prominent.
Yeah.
For the boys on 4-3-7.
Yeah, big time. And, you know, right now, this 4-3-7 squad, they are just feeling very, very good simply because their plan worked. You know, they not gave up the first hill, but they straight up played for spawns for the hill, the second hill, and that worked out very well for them. And then they were able to use that use that early spawn advantage to even get spawns for the C hill early. So each time they have just been beating them to the next hill, just doing amazing at that. But that's what I'm talking about with teamwork. Every single time the Innovators are able to come back in and just break the hill just like they never left. And that is why we got ourselves essentially a tie game. You see it here yet again. It is just got to be, it's going to come down to a sudden death. I'm calling it right now.
It seems like right now, 85 to 93 so far. As things are slowly dwindling down, the point lead is becoming less and less. They try and push right on through. VPB manages to get one down. Key takes out another. Hippo, incredible, both down. But Tykins makes sure that he evens the odds with the Halo drones. They come around with Kazuki as well. And they try and keep the pressure onto them. As both Kizaki and Tykins manage to down and take out Silhouette. It takes 2 for 1, but I can't see the same for 437 EU. As the rest of them manage to clean up the remaining members of the Innovators on the objective here. Key has to try and see if he can find some way, and they've got 10 seconds left. They have to play it down, literally down to the second, to see how well this is going to be. If somebody went through mid right now, they would be, yeah, it would be so unfortunate if somebody went through mid right now, but there's only 1 second left. I don't think that's really going to mean much. They are on the objective. They do come through mid, but I think at the wrong time. If someone would have pushed out through mid that way, I think that would have been so different. Oh, and Key was in the back too. Yeah, that was a beautiful setup, but it just wasn't, they didn't have enough time to execute.
Yeah, exactly.
That was a great setup though.
Yeah, 100%. You could see them start to coordinate, start to drop that play in their head. They even did have a guy try to come through middle through the smoke, but it just did not work out for them. So 437 doing an amazing job overall. And my goodness, man, so many highlights that we saw from this one. Man, this is just such a good play from the Lancer. She ran all the way around the map to come finally get onto the hill when there was only 20 seconds to make sure that her team is going to be spawning up for that B hill. And I'll just say every single time to win the rotation all 3 times to B, C, and D hill, that is just a testament to your strategy. And just like that, an amazing play coming out of Kazaki on this Lancer, knowing exactly where to put that Simtex, jumping up, not letting anyone come off of that zip line. And they're going to be holding this first hill for a while, but they got to watch out for the play that got them to lose the spawns the first time and make sure that nobody is going to be coming up on their flank. As Key right now coming through the middle, and he's going to be looking to take out this Lancer, and he is going to be able to take out Kazaki on site just like that. And man, just like that, Innovators able to fight back and retake that site yet again. My goodness.
Yeah, right now, so they're slowly trying to make their way inward. Tries to keep the pressure on, and they weren't ready for Silhouette to be there. He swings around the corner and finds not only 1 down, but 2. Kazaki manages to down him with the Semtex, but he already took out 2 on the way into the next objective. This is definitely the Innovators' site to hold for right now, as they're going to have to play a very heavy retake game here. Just see if they can flank around all the way on the side. It's going to become more and more problematic trying to take the zip line. I am curious how that fight goes. Key manages to stay down incredible, and Silhouette is taken down by Kazaki. However, the rest of the Innovators are ready to take out the opposing side and still maintain control over B side.
Yeah, 100%, and they have the spawns going to be flooded in right now. Right now, 437 EU, they're trying to close this one out, and this is exactly what they did in the last round. They did the exact same thing. It's almost it's deja vu right now, as they are able to get those early spawns for that BL, but that right there is going to be the game changer. So many times we saw the Innovators come in and be able to retake that site at the very end, but Tykins, he's not going to be letting that happen, as he's able to take out 3. He's on himself a little killing spree, almost able to take out Class in the middle. He's going to be living by the skin of his teeth, but that's not going to matter, because that is going to be a 45-point swing for the 437 EU squad, and now it's going to be all about having these spawns, and they have spawns for C Hill as well. My goodness, 437 are looking amazing right now.
Silhouette, man, just to at least get a kill, but he's aware that Key is behind him. Swings around into the back, and Tykins gets another one. They are maintaining control over the objective here. 437 looking better and better as the clock ticks downward. They are in control. Lancer flanking around. They don't know that he's there. They do now. He wasn't aware that somebody was waiting right there. Incredible. Manages to swing out, takes out Class. And they have pretty much got a lock on this side. I'm going to be honest with you, Rome. They don't look like they're about to give this side up anytime soon. And it's really a tall order for the Innovators to try and see if they can even take this back.
Oh yeah, big time, because the one thing about this D hill is that it's not like other D hills. It is so hard to hold. There's other D hills like on Palace we almost saw a crazy 120 point comeback, and you got to find that sensor somewhere in the bushes. Wow, he's able to find it. My goodness, the eagle eye on him to be able to do that. Great stuff by Tykins as they are holding this bad boy down, but they're still going to need 3 points. Even if they hold this the rest of the way, they're going to need those last 3 points, and I think they're going to be able to get them with a lot of ease. As right now, 437 squad is looking to push this to a game 5. And man, I knew this was going to be a close series. I wasn't thinking that it was going to go game 5, though. I got to say that I'm super, super excited for that potentially to happen.
36 to 132. Silhouette manages to take out Tykins, and Class gets traded out. So now it's a 3v3 so far. The respawn timers are ticking down. Tries to see if he can get the hits, but he's not actually going to be able to find that. He doesn't find it, and the Incend tears up both of them. Silhouette, VPB, both go down, but Class at least manages to get one. It's both him and Dallas are trying to see if they can flank around, trying to keep the pressure on. Incend gets tossed out. So many nades being thrown as well, but Class is holding his ground by the staircase here. Lowers Incredible to a fraction of his HP, but nobody ran onto the site to touch. It's too many people covering too many angles, and that's going to be the game. We are indeed going to a game 5.
Oh yeah, big time, and I'm super excited for that, man. 437 fighting back as usual. And this is the crazy thing about this series is that so far they have been split. Each team is 1-1 in their respective game modes. One team is one demolition, one team is one King of the Hill, one team wanted demolition, King of the Hill. It's going back and forth. So now it all comes down to who's able to win this 5th and final map. And man, I gotta say that there's a lot of things that we love to see. Game 5s are amazing. Round 15s are amazing as well. Who knows if we'll get one of those, but let's go ahead and check out the replays from this King of the Hill before we hop into that final match. As man, Kazaki, he was doing amazing things, able to get these spawns for his squad. And that is the one thing that 437 did amazingly every single time, is fighting for these spawns to be, especially flipping them off the rip. I've never seen that before. Beautiful stuff.
Yes, such prominent gameplay from 437. Like I mentioned before, we had talked a little bit previously about the last King of the Hill match we saw them on. Seemed to be a bit of a struggle, but that's not looking like it's the case right now. As man, they've managed to tie it up and take us to a game 5. I think both drafts were really good here, but I think 437's enabled them a little bit more. Obviously, Chalk at some points in time doing Chalk things with the Lancer. I mean, they're just trying to keep up and keep the pressure going, because you have the extra, technically an extra half of a health bar being utilized as well. I mean, you're adding that on to Chalk's ability to be able to pretty much hit the W key, right? Since this is a respawn game mode, it's gonna come back up. He doesn't really have to use it to res himself. Instead, he just needs to rely on the respawn timers. And we saw that being utilized a lot. Kazaki obviously swapping the spawns and utilizing the quick and quiet to keep the pressure on the opposing side. The Innovators definitely struggled to find themselves that game, but here we are at game 5. It doesn't matter who finds themselves, there will be one victor on Palace.
Yeah, you got one squad winning 8-5 in their demo, the other squad winning 8-3, so only a 2-round difference over all of these rounds that we've seen in this series. Only 2 rounds separate these teams coming into this final map, and man, this squad in 437, I gotta say, they snatched that momentum that Innovators had right back, because I will say, Innovators, I knew they were going to be hyped after winning that Canals. You know, they practiced it so much, but coming off of that victory, going straight into a 2-0 loss where 437 honestly looked like they had their number in both rounds. I will say, that King of the Hill did not look as close as the Palace King of the Hill, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, not at all. I mean, that was definitely way more polarizing for 437 there, and I think they did a great job at recognizing how they needed to play that. It's about them coming back to Palace now.
Yeah,
we are talking about Palace once again. We started off on the second map with Palace. Here we are on the final map with Palace. I am interested, to say the least, as to how these teams are going to adapt from the last time they played to this time, because 437 looked great the last map. Now here we are on Palace, trying to be a little bit more aggressive, a little bit more in the faces of the opposing side. And I'm concerned if I am 437, you know, like maybe not off of the back of that win, but based off of how Palace went last time, I would definitely be a little bit more concerned about how it could possibly go this time. Maybe that little extra nudge it is that they need it in the right direction for the first time they play Palace could be here this time. That running off of the back of that win definitely could be a good look. Definitely does great for team morale.
Yeah, maybe, maybe they're saying, look, we lost 2-0 in the King of the Hill Palace, but right now, Demolition Palace is a whole nother animal, so maybe we'll be able to win that one. And, like you said, they're loading into the same map that they did lose on. They might be having a little bit of PTSD there and say, man, these rounds are going to be a little bit of a struggle, but, completely different game mode, so hopefully they're able to shake that memory loose and be able to come into this bad boy fresh. And let me hear your predictions right now, because it sounds like you're leaning toward the Innovators.
Yeah, it seems if we're going off of how last time Palace went, like we mentioned before, like it wasn't too far off in terms of 4-3-7, making sure they try to tie it up. Like we had a potentially amazing hold during the last game of Palace that we saw because of the fact that 4-3-7 were able to hold on for so long, even though they weren't quite able to win the round. I definitely think that this is something that we could see happen once again. I think the Innovators definitely have proven themselves on both Palace and Canals. Even on Favelas, they struggled a lot. 8-5, definitely not a close score line, but close enough to where you wouldn't consider it a stomp. Then we look at Palace, then we look at Canals. It definitely seems like off of the back of losses that Innovators put their best foot forward afterwards and try and see if they can maintain a hold on the wins it is that they need, because now we're at game 5. It's going to have to be adaptation. You're going to need to try your best, because if you don't, then you're out of the tournament. That's just going to be it.
Yeah, big time. Nobody wants to get knocked out of that winner's bracket, especially coming in to a map 5. So let's go ahead and see what these Palace Demolition bands are going to be. We are going to have Ronin and Dahlia.
Interesting.
Now, this is very interesting and very spicy. Let me say this right now. The 4-3-7 squad, the reason that they might be banning Dahlia is most likely because they're planning on playing Saint, because they don't have any characters that have very good passives. My guess is they might be looking to play a Talon, a Dallas, a Kestrel, and a Saint. That's a composition that makes sense, that you would look at it and say, we don't need a Dahlia. So if you're not planning on playing a Dahlia, go ahead and ban it. Then the Ronin going to be banned as well, because guess what? Everyone wants to know where everyone is. People don't like looking for that rat player, so they just want to go ahead and get that Ronin on out of here. And this is going to be a very interesting match. Now that this Dahlia is banned, it's going to be interesting to see how many revives are going to be able to come through with these Saint drones.
Yeah, once again, like, the Saint is going to be the sort of story here because of the fact that they're going to need somebody that ends up utilizing that revive. Dahlia getting banned out definitely opens up a different slew of opportunities for different drafts and characters, because you don't have to worry about Dahlia making sure she gets a good enough passive, right? You are more concerned now about the overall team composition. You're relying on the Saint drone to be able to pick you up. And the Saint drone, the difference between that and Dahlia, obviously, is not only not having to share passive, but Saint drone could just be used from anywhere. There's no specific radius that Saint has to be in to be able to pick someone up. And that could actually be a very telltale sign as to how the game could potentially go.
Oh yeah, big time. And it's time to see exactly how the game's going to go as we are loading into Palace right now. Map 5, Demolition, round 1 of the $10,000 CMG main event for Roco Company. It's a beautiful thing to see, especially for these teams, because guess what? Winning this one is going to go ahead and guarantee themselves a little bit more security heading into the next round. They're going to be feeling a lot better. Nobody wants to go down to that loser's bracket. And now is going to be where you put it all on the table, and look who is left open. It is going to be the Glitch. For the first time today in Demolition, Glitch is not going to be banned. I wish I would have thought about it sooner. I love Glitch. Love to see it. You see the Saint drone coming out on one side. No revive going to be coming out on the side of Innovators. What are your thoughts?
I think that's a little bit questionable, because now we see for the first time in any of the matches that we've seen today that runway actually gets utilized, right? Obviously, you're going to have to deal with like 8 million different grenades. That's about a rough estimate for how many grenades it is that actually get thrown at people when you're dealing with runway on the other side, right? But I definitely think that you're going to have to play perfectly, right? They're going to be relying on that util. They're going to be relying on a lot of their gadgets to carry them into these sites and to play post-plan. Since they don't have anything that really revives anyone else, the implication is that they're not worried about the grenades. They're not worried about the util or worried about post-plan or anything of the sort. They don't even really have anyone that sort of pushes forward or keeps themselves alive for long enough. I don't think none of them have like self-sustain, not like Chalk does or anything of the sort.
They have one player with tenacity. They have
Yeah.
no revives. They have no straight up normal smokes. They're missing a lot. I'm gonna be honest. For an offensive team right now, they are missing a whole lot. So this is gonna be a lot of slow rounds. My guess is if this squad wants to win, they're gonna need to play this methodically and honestly perfectly, because I don't know what their game plan is going to be, but it looks like it's going to be a fast B push, and they're playing this bad boy like King of the Hill. They said, forget the bomb plant. We're going straight in there. Dima ult is going to be coming out, taking out Hippo. Class gets taken out as well. Kazaki going to be going down in the back. Silhouette now in a 2v2 situation, but that player is weak, not going to be getting that health regen for a while. You need to challenge him before he heals up, and just like that, man, that's why that health regen is such a big passive for this Phantom, able to win that 1v1, secure that bad boy, and gonna get this revive while looking for this final player who, guess what, VPB has on his radar. They know where he's at. They're gonna be taking him out just like that, going up 1-0, proving me wrong already.
Well, yeah, I mean, hey, maybe you don't need the revive, right? You play a very strong first round, and the more as you look at how they actually played that, they play a little bit more aggressive, a little bit more in the face of their opponents, right? They have the glitch to be utilized, and they have the Phantom as well to keep the pressure on. They throw out the nades, they rush them and force them all the way back. And they pretty much force out a lot of fights from that. Obviously, that regen, like was mentioned before, you see how long it takes for that regen to actually come online because of the Phantom. And I think that this is a great draft so far. I mean, like, I was a little bit concerned. I didn't think that it was in their best interest not to have the revive, but if you feel confident enough, if you feel like you're ready to play this way, then hey, who am I to judge?
Oh yeah, big time. And hey, such a crazy composition, such a close matchup, man. I want to ask the chat something, man. Go ahead and give me your predictions real quick. Drop a 1 in the chat if you think the Innovators are going to take this bad boy home, and a 2 if you think the 437 EU is going to take this one home. I want to hear your guys' thoughts, because right now 437 looking like they're probably going to tie this bad boy up, as it is going to be a 3v2 advantage for 437 EU right now. And man, this is either way, it's going to be so close. And now it's a 3v3 situation. The Lancer is going to be making plays. She's going to be looping around using that quick and quiet. But just like that, if you're in your quick and quiet now, you can still get revealed. So she is going to be getting revealed, turning around, can't make the typical Lancer play anymore. And man, that one is a little bit dejecting if you are a Lancer.
You know, right now, bomb gets tossed out and planted. And now you have to worry about playing post-plant on the side of the Innovators. The bomb's down, so the clock is against them right now. As 437 have to find a way around. Keys playing closer, but misses the first initial shots and loses because of that. Misses the first initial shots on the Lancer. At least VPB is able to swing around and try and keep that fight, but this is the power of Saint. We have a situation where he doesn't even have to be close. He just sends that drone out, picks back up, and now we're back in the fray. This is where the revive comes into a huge play here. They try and push Kizaki out, but it's not going to be enough. He gets brought low, but it's not going to be anything that is sort of determining how this works. Tries to drop down on him. VPB almost wins that fight. Oh my goodness.
That would have been the round.
That would have been,
because all he had to do was kill that player and then roll away exactly to where you just killed him, hop on up top that roof and shoot that player off the bomb. That literally was almost, oh my goodness, that would have been such a crazy turn on. My goodness. Yeah, no excuse to lose that one if you're Tychons. You got to be able to clutch that bad boy up. He's going to be taking out the Phantom in the 2v1 situation. He knew exactly where he was at, dropping down, and that's the one thing about ADSing up close with an assault rifle. It can get a little bit shaky at times, but hey, they are able to take him out, and we got ourselves a 1-1 game now, as this bad boy is so close.
Yeah, right now they're trying to see if they can make their way back on in as the next round has already started. Everyone's going back to their positions, as it seems like the Innovators are trying to make more of a play on A site this time around and trying to keep the pressure up. They are slowly making their way forward. Haven't made it quite to the site yet, but 437, they definitely have the intel necessary. They're going to try and play around it as the bomb is already getting planted. They find good shots already onto Hippo, but he's not going to be brought down. Instead, he takes out VPB, and the kill is taken by Incredible. Key manages to down one, but Saint Drone is going to be enough. The nade just so happens to cover the Saint Drone and takes out the person they were trying to res. Now there's no Saint Drone to be used.
Yeah, absolutely massive. And man, you saw the glitch. He was barely able to get that bomb off before the Simtex exploded. And now it's going to be all about angles as they know where Class is. They just have to zone him off. But oh my goodness, he's behind the box. They thought that he was on the tree box, but no, he is going to be on this other one. And he is just going to have a perfect position to shoot all these players on the cross. But you got to be able to hit your shots, especially these ones. No, he's going to get taken out. And now all that's left is going to be the Phantom. Two players are alive. One is going to be hopping on side. It's going to be all about playing the defense. You got to look to your right. He's on your right. You got to look to it now. You got to get him off bomb. And
Oh, and he wasn't able to stop it in time. Phantom ends up rolling around. He had no idea he was coming from the right. He swung around a little bit too late, and the Innovators win because they were able to force somebody off of the bomb.
Yeah, you know, great plays by that Phantom coming up. Man, that is a guessing game. That is the worst feeling if you are the side of 437 EU, because all you got to do is guess where the Phantom's going to be coming from. You saw him looking left, he was looking right, looking every which way, but it didn't even matter. And man, Kazaki, he was doing it all with the C4, with the Mamba, and then he tried to do it all, taking out the Phantom, but he thought she was going to be coming on the left. My goodness, Silhouette, you see how close that was? Literally, with the last bullet, it could not get any closer, and that is what we are looking for in this series, in this $10,000 tournament, man. Those are the $10,000 plays we love to see.
Yeah, right now, the next round has started. It seems like the Innovators are trying to slowly make their way onto the objective here. Silhouette pushes around on the side. He actually makes great space there, and they definitely already know that. The glitch hat goes through, but where's the push to follow suit? Looks like it's not going to be there, especially with a well-timed Simtex from Incredible. Tosses out the bomb, and instead they're just going to try and see if they can gain any intel for the time being. Not going to quite find anything there. Nobody's going to really be able to pick up the Phantom as a glitch slowly begins to rotate towards A side. I believe he's going to try and go through double door, see if he can find anyone. And I think Hippo is at least close enough for him to see that. I'm not sure. But if he is, okay, no. Okay, he isn't close enough. Instead, he's going to keep pushing through, have his ability ready to go just to gain intel for where people might be as they try and wait. They're going to try and stall, but 437 are slowly making their way forward as they want to try and push their advantage here.
Yeah, and right now you got to be mindful. You know that there's a glitch on the map. You haven't been... Oh, and that is the thing about playing glitch. Taking the wide angle, not going straight through. You're able to come behind the Lancer, and now you're able to come behind the Saint. And those are the two most important players, if you will. One's the Revive, one's the Rat, and he's able to get both of them really quickly. And just like that, Innovators going to be able to put this bomb down, and now all they got to worry about is going to be this runway in the back, and she is not going to be able to do anything in this situation. And she's switching weapons, trying to hit a crazy clip, is able to hit the hit marker, but that's not going to be enough. As Glitch going to be dancing as he did it all that round, and he deserves to dance.
I think after a certain amount of time, if they're not pushing up, in my opinion, I'm like, something has to be up, right? Like, they haven't pushed in, they're just playing passively. Having someone that's always watching the flank, I think, will probably be the most benefit and most effective, if anything, because it's pretty dangerous, in my opinion, to just have someone that's not really watching the flank like that, especially on a map as wide as Palace. But I mean, once again, like, how do how do you not expect that to be the case, right? Like, how do you expect that to be the case? I mean, for someone to just go around all the way through the flank, but I am not sure how he actually manages to get all the way into the back. I feel like that there's a sense of context that you would need to exactly know that he's going to be back there. But even still, like, I mean, I guess with the current situation that they were just caught off guard by that. And sometimes it just happens that way. Sometimes it's not always thought out and planned. Sometimes you can make a mistake. And here we are heading into the next round with them already making pretty good leeway towards the site. Glitch is like right next to the bomb site, but nothing to really push in or try and plant yet. The nanosmoke goes out. This might be what they're looking for here.
And that's what I was talking about not having any smokes, is that it really limits the overall plays that you can make. It's really going to be a lot of plays like we saw in the last round, just sneaking around, trying to make things happen, or a straight up all out push. And right now, that is going to be working out, especially if they're going to be able to get up this Dima, and they hand resed him. Wow, no revives on this squad, but guess what? You don't need them if your hands work just as good. And they're going to be in a 4-2 situation. Now going to just try to get this bomb down, but you got to stay alive,
Oh
because
man.
that hack is going to be coming out. Headstrong going to be barely keeping him alive. No, he's going to end up going down regardless. And now all that's left is going to be the Dallas. He gets taken out as well. 4-1 advantage for the side of Innovators. And I can say that I'm surprised. Why? Because guess what? I thought the 437 EU was going to be able to come out with a little bit more firepower on this defensive side, especially with this composition that the Innovators chose.
Right now, Innovators leading with 4-1. They've got two, and this is how it started off on Canals, right? They've got 2 rounds to win before we're dealing with another half. Now on Canals, I believe they were able to make it 5-2. Is how that half ended. Now it's going to be up to 437 to at least try and make this a 3-4. They've got to try and find something. So far, Innovators, I believe, have just been playing very methodically. They don't really have a lot of things to sort of rely on, and Tycoon's getting picked out that early is actually huge already. They've cleared out 3 people. What happened? How did they end up losing so quickly that way?
Yeah,
They lost 3 already.
Unfortunate. Yeah, and about to be the 4th is the last player is going to be the Saint. He's not going to be reviving anyone, as all of his teammates are taken out, and they already got this bad boy planted on site. Even though the glitch got taken out, it's not really going to matter. This Saint is not going to, I really don't know what he's going to do in this situation. If you're Saint, you just got to hit every single headshot possible if you want any chance of winning this bad boy.
Right now, they slowly have to try and play retake, but I don't think Saint has it in him. He doesn't look like he's trying to push forward to play any sort of retake. Instead, I think he's just going to try and give this one up, I believe. Yeah, I don't think this is an opportunity for him to take. It's going to be too difficult. I think he just tries to play the exit frags here on the opposing side. Yeah, Innovators are definitely going to allow. Yeah, they're definitely going to blow this bomb up. Throws out the Dima ability, just try and like force people away in case, from the spawn, in case he's over there, but he's not. Instead, he's just going to completely give that one up. 5-1 so far on the side of the Innovators.
Yeah, 5-1, and they're looking very, very good, especially running this comp that honestly surprised me so much, but it looks like it didn't surprise the chat, man. Most of you guys in the chat do have the Innovators as a squad you guys thought was gonna win, and I saw you guys typed it before it got ridiculously out of hand. It's a little bit ridiculously out of hand right now. 5-1, and they're on the offensive side. If you are 437 EU right now, you gotta be able to look something. You gotta dig deep, because guess what? You might be looking at placing top 16 in a 16-man tournament if you go down to losers and it doesn't play out well for you. So you got to win these maps and win these rounds. These ones are so crucial, especially this last one. You cannot go down in a 6-1 hole.
Right now, Nate gets tossed out to try to keep people away. They manage to down one. Kazaki goes down, and so does Incredible. They kill one and down the other. That's 2 already out of the fray for now. Things are becoming a little bit more dangerous for 437. I think they're going to struggle to even make it back here, because it doesn't even look like they're trying to commit to B side. They've actually swept through their spawn, and instead have moved to A side. They're all grouping up together, and I actually like the play there. Force them out of their comfort zone. They're going to try and stall you on B. The comms are there, so why not force them to play at your pace? Going to a different side and rotating with them having a numbers disadvantage ends up in plays like this, where Tycoons goes down trying to swing out, and there's too many people there.
Yeah, exactly. And now you're in a situation where you're looking at a 6-1 deficit, and now you got to really figure out what composition you're going to run. I'm pretty sure that they're sitting here thinking, oh man, this composition we just honestly got smoked by on this side. There's no reason that we should have lost to this composition. Maybe they're thinking that and saying, look, we got to figure out what we're going to do with our road choices, because at this point, this squad can hit us with anything. And my guess is they're going to stay on that glitch, because usually if you play glitch that well as VPB was, you're going to lock it in again for the other side. And he locked it in immediately, was the first one locked in for his squad.
And right now, this is a Seeker hover right now we're seeing on the side of 437. Seeker, Saint, and Dallas so far. They're running double intel here, but Scorch actually gets, but they at least get pushed in for the Kestrel and the Glitch. Scorch seems to be picked up here as well, as Dallas is available to him. Yeah, Vi, Scorch, Dallas, and Glitch versus the Seeker. They actually do commit to the Seeker here. They commit to Seeker, Dallas, Kestrel, and Saint on the opposing side for 4-3-7.
Yeah, very interesting out of them. But hey, listen, Seeker is intel at the end of the day. So no revives going to be coming out on this defensive side yet again. So the Innovators are going a full game with no revive character. And right now they're up 6-1. They're on defense now. We got to see if it's going to be able to be possible. As you see Hippo taken out, man, as this Glitch just rolled down. Was able to shoot him in the back. Amazing play out of VPB, man. Glitch is making a little name for himself right now. As, man, first time that we've seen him get through, and he is already an absolute menace on the map.
Right now, 4-3-7. I believe they're sort of split up so far. One of them's crossing over from mid. But instead, they're actually just forcing things out here on the side of B. Instead, Class is just going to wait. He's not really going to try and push up. He's just going to hold his ground. And yeah, Tychus tries to push up and gets taken out. Class is actually just playing extremely patiently, waiting for his team to come back and see if they can sweep back around. Trying to see if they can make use of this. Almost downs the Seeker. They get the bomb plant, but being pincered from mid and their spawn is obviously hard enough. VPB swings around the corner and at least gets down, but he takes out Hippo before he goes. They have to swing back around and try and keep control over the bomb. Instead, both of them are on the roof, and they hear that. One drops below. The second one follows soon after that. They land a hit, snaps his finger, and tosses out the ensign. He's able to at least pick up Class, and this is going to be a 2v1.
Yeah, getting that revive. Great stuff out of him. Both players are low. Now you know where the last guy's at. You're waiting for the Scorch to heal up. Now you go. Right now. You don't have a choice. You have to go right now. You know exactly where he's at. You gotta hit your shots, though. There's only 5 seconds left. Scorch hopping up. She's gonna be able to take him out. Don't fight over the bomb now. We've seen some crazy things.
Yeah.
Oh my god! They did it again. That is the second time in a row that I have casted where a team has been on the bomb and has let go of the bomb. Oh my goodness, that better not come back to bite this Innovator squad. Oh my god, Dallas, it looks like you're not wearing the right gloves, man. You need a different skin. I don't know what's going on right now, but you're on the bomb. You're off the bomb. I don't know what happened, man, but hey, look, you gotta be able to hold down that X button. You gotta be able to hold F, whatever it is that interaction button for you. Keyboard, mouse, we all love it here. You're all welcome. It's all amazing stuff. But either way, that is just so unfortunate, Fawn.
Yeah, right now they try and roll in. They actually get the bomb down extremely quickly. That's like almost instant. They just rolled in. The first time we switched to Seeker's POV, and immediately the bomb's just down already. Like,
yeah, great job getting that bad boy down, but just like that, VPB getting that first blood yet again on the Glitch. He is terrorizing them. The hack is going to be coming out as well, getting rid of that Saint drone, as that's not going to be happening. You got to hand res that. Oh my goodness, this Glitch is doing it all. Glitch is going ham. Glitch is going crazy.
Yeah, and he gets another down too. Hippo gets taken out. The bomb is pretty much theirs. They're going to be able to pick up the Glitch as well. They rotate around. Class manages to get the final kill on Tychus. And here we are with the 7-2 lead, man. I mean, this is crazy. What a lead on the side of the Innovators.
Yeah, right now, Glitch is showing why he has been banned multiple times. You are just able to flank at will, doing whatever you want, even hacking the Saint drone. Man, that's not going to be getting a res off. No hand res either, as he's able to down that player from across the zip line, man. Such accuracy and great plays all around coming out of this Glitch and VPB, man. He is just really impressing me right here.
Yeah, right now, this is game point, tournament point. This determines who goes to the losers bracket. Up 4-3-7. They've got their work cut out for them. They have a long hill to climb here, as the Innovators have such a substantial lead over them. Let's see if we can make it around Glitch. using his ability just to try and see if he can find anyone that might be waiting close by or around here. As right now, they're trying to see if they can find those opening shots. They don't, once again. Scorch waiting all the way in the back, just playing pretty passively. Get some early shots on Tychons, but doesn't find much other than that. Some good shots at VPB again by double doors. Again. He gets another down.
Yeah, yet again, man, coming on the flank, and that is the thing about Glitch. You got to be mindful of it, but even when you try to play for it, he knows where you're at, you don't know where he's at, and he's able to wreak havoc yet again, getting another first blood, and now it's going to be all about winning this one. He's down to 10 HP. This would not be the brightest thing to challenge, as they have already taken out another player, and that's going to be the Saint. He pulled out his pad, saw that player win away, so he knows that he can push up right now, but this player, Tychons, is going to be waiting for him at the close corner. Glitch going to be taking him out. All that's left is the Seeker. You got to be able to look for him and find him, and you got to be able to defuse the bomb, and they're going to be able to do just that, Fawn.
It seems like the bomb is curtains from here, and here we go, the Innovators. They are the ones that move on in round one of main event today. 437 are sent down to the losers bracket. What an amazing game and great gameplay we saw today.
Man, oh man, the Glitch came out, man. It is time. The Glitch finally arrived, man. He showed why you gotta ban him, why he's a menace on the map. He's gonna be flanking. VPB was out here doing incredible things, man. The Glitch is here, and you love to see it, man. Absolutely love the Glitch plays coming out of VPB today, man. Beautiful stuff. Absolutely beautiful stuff, man. I had to pull out the Glitch mask for it, man.
I mean, it makes sense. It's a wonderful occasion. I mean, Innovators, they seem like they weren't looking too great on a couple of those maps. 437 really seemed to have their number, and now here we are in a situation where Innovators have managed to move on. Let's take a look at those series replays real quick and check everything out that we've seen so far today since we started. Man, oh man, what a great start. We started things out on Favelas, Tychons. So many of the members of 437 EU really proceeded to have a hold over the opposing side. I mean, the Innovators were not looking great at the very first start of this game. 8-5 was the final score line, but at the end of the day, they turned things around for themselves. It really started looking for the ball to be in their court the minute that we headed to Palace for King of the Hill, as you see right here. This is when they started winning. This is when they started showing their true colors. Almost an amazing hold from 437 EU, but it was not enough to be able to net them the set win that they needed. Instead, 437 will be sent down to the losers bracket, and it seems like the Innovators are going to be good enough to proceed onwards in the winners bracket here, man. I am so overall impressed, not only from their adaptation, but their teamwork and how they have played throughout today.
Oh yeah, big time. You know, you look at the Innovators overall, you know, the first map, they looked pretty solid. You know, things were looking okay for them, you know, and then they were really able to turn things around, honestly, toward the latter half of this series. And man, you see Class, he was going absolutely insane in this demolition game on Canals, man, doing absolutely amazing stuff, able to help them get such an early lead that really was able to help them overcome every other situation and just give them such good vibes, good energy, all around good juju. And you know, they were definitely feeling themselves right there in that map overall, especially with this crazy 2v4 clutch that we saw coming out of Key, as he was able to do absolute work on this Dallas, putting in that pain, man. Great stuff. And the Innovators overall, man, in this series just looked incredible. Now, I will say that the one weak point was definitely that Windward King of the Hill. You know, that Windward one was a little bit rough, you know, for them. But, you know, if you're able to win the other maps where they matter, that's all that matters. And guess what? They were able to do that, winning map 2, 3, and finally map 5. Great stuff out of the Innovators. They're going to be moving on to round 2.
Yeah, this is... what a crazy set today, man. I mean, we go the distance, we go all 5 games, and here we are. Innovators move on into the bracket, further into the bracket, man. I mean, I'm at a loss for words, honestly. There's so much that could be said, so many great drafts that we saw today. Interesting to see the Dahlia actually end up getting banned out, honestly, and we saw it really not be utilized. We only saw one team with the Saint. They really didn't even need the res at all. They felt comfortable enough not to have it, and it ended up paying off. That was just overall well played by the Innovators, and I'm excited to see them later on in the tournament.
Oh yeah, big time. You know, the Innovators were looking so solid. A lot of these situations, but hey, it's not over for 437, man. They are going down to
Mhm.
that losers bracket, and guess what? If you're in losers, you have just as much chance as winning as someone from winners bracket, man. It's not over for you. Your weekend is not over, so do not lose any hope. We might be seeing them again. Who knows, man? Who knows? But